What's going on, Canes fan? Welcome to Junior the Big Dog, your favorite father and son duo covering Miami Hurricanes football and sports. I'm here, Brett. I'm here. He said Junior must be late. The Twins are going to get him. Hey, man, before we even get started, not to cut you off, Big Dog, but first ever donation before we even jumped on this live, man. Brian Jones with a $15 donation before me and the Big Dog even had a chance to jump on here, man. Just want to thank you, Brian, for your financial support, man, your support in general. He says, just because, baby, go Canes. What's going on, Big Dog?
I love it. Thank you, Brian, and thank all you guys for joining us early. We got I said hello to a few here before we started, including Brian. Brian, again, thank you. Saeed, I always mess up his name, but I'm gonna mess it up again until they correct me again for like the fourth time. Castellanos, I can say that. I can say the last name easy. And is that pronounced Shaney? Cheney, right?
I don't see it on my. No, it's Shane, dude. Remember
Shane,
last time he said it's
right.
Shane.
I knew I heard last time.
Shane.
I apologize, Shane. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. HD, J.A. Kane, Austin Canes, Brett, Demetrius Abrams. What do you say to everybody? Thank you so much for joining us and being with us early. Junior and I were talking. We're going to take some phone calls, talk a little bit about everything. What do you say, Thomas? And Joe, what do you say, Joe? Oh, thank you so much. He says he loves the show and he's telling every Cane I know in the Panhandle.
Thank you, man.
Oh, I love it.
That. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you. Lakers all day. What do you say? Lotso, what do you say? So we're gonna have a good time here and take some calls and talk some Canes football and I
would like to talk to some never before callers. You know, some of you guys. I know some people rather not even call in. You guys just like talking in the chat and whatnot. But I know it's cool to interact with you guys. So if you guys do want to call, man,
wow.
that'll be awesome.
Wow, Hurricane Zoe with a $50 donation.
Hey yo.
Thank you so much, Zoe, man. He said,
Mr. Alonzo 129, man.
He said, I said, hey, yo, to my new niece and nephew. Much love.
Oh, my goodness.
Zoe, you are amazing. I got to call into Zoe's show. I know you watched it today, Junior.
I was watching it because it was like over 3-something hours. So
yeah.
I watched a little bit during my lunch break and I was listening to some of it in the background. And let me tell you something, man. That show, I mean, Slim Shady got on there. It was just the three of you guys. It was classic, man. It was classic. And Zoe, man, I can't say enough. Not just for your donation, man, but for your kind words that you said about about me and the Big Dog yesterday. And Big Dog says so much yesterday about how much you've helped our channel grow. And you're an OG, man. So hey, we really do appreciate the donation, man. But that was a heck of a show last night. I still gotta finish it because I couldn't get through the whole thing, but I will indeed finish it. I promise you that, because it was classic, man. It was classic.
We had such a blast, and Slim Shady, I thought, brought it. Slim did a great job, and it was just, you know what it was? It was three guys, three friends, sitting down talking sports in a barbershop. It's like what Zoe was saying.
That's what it felt like.
That's exactly what it felt like to me. I looked at I didn't look at on my phone until we were like 2 hours and 15 minutes into it. I went, what? I can't believe we were on the phone this long. And it was just one of those things. We probably could have ended up talking for another couple hours.
Oh, 100%.
It was just so much fun. Brett Varner with the donation. Brett, thank you so much. He said, will offense click from Jump Street? Yes and no, Brett. I think it'll click from the standpoint, not that you will see the normal hiccups that you see with the installation of a new system. I think the spread air raid concept has a lot of simplicity to it, which will make it easier. But at the same time, you're still going to have those hiccups. You're going to You're going to have guys not knowing always what their assignment is.
Not just that. You got, a new quarterback and a new offensive coordinator. So it's going to be a lot.
even though the new quarterback's experienced, you're still looking at
It's still a new system. It's a new
correct,
team. It's new guys. He needs to be on the same page,
correct.
which is why I've said of how important it is to to not beat around the bush with a quarterback. De'Aaron King is our quarterback for 2020, and that's it. Off the jump, spring. Start building that chemistry with the wide receivers. Start building that chemistry with the offense, with the offensive line, and everybody needs to be on the same page, man. Because I just feel like when you got a quarterbacks, especially what we had last year, you had Tate taking first team reps. You had Nicosi taking first team reps. You had Jaron taking first team reps, and it's just you don't get as many reps as you possibly can. Obviously, when you're named a starter outright. So I think I want to see that come the end of February, man. Once spring starts, listen, De'Aaron, this is your team, man, and start building a good rapport with all the wide receivers and the whole team in general, man. So
I don't think. First, let's get to the donation from Taz too. Taz,
what's up, Taz?
Taz Haitian Canes says, "What's up, Junior Big Dog and Zoe? Loyalty, Canes family, Canes for life."
Hey, Big Dog, you gotta follow Taz on Facebook, man.
Oh, absolutely, I will.
He's always going live, and it's straight comedy. Some of his lives.
I gotta do that. Do me a favor. Can you send me a link? Because I'm
I
not
got you.
good navigating.
What is it that you say, Taz? Something like you start off all your lives like when I come through. Yeah, I laugh every single time I hear that, man. Taz, I love watching your lives on Facebook. I tell you what, brother. But thank you so much.
I was going to say on the point, and first off, we got to do this. Those of you that are new, please subscribe to us, hit the notifications bell, and press all so you're notified when we drop new videos. And all of you, please hit the like button. It helps us with our YouTube algorithm, and also leave comments if we don't get to your questions today. So that's all the things I had to get out there. One thing I wanted to point out that you were mentioned, I know we're going to have a competition for the quarterback spot. Wink, wink type of competition. Meaning, I want De'Aaron King to get the normal repetitions for a QB1 and then split up the rest with Nicosi and Tate. And if you want to include Peyton Matocha in there, or whoever else, give them a rep here or two. But yeah, you're right. I do want, especially installing a new offense. The thing is, Brett, you saw it last year when we started the season off against Florida. You saw false starts, broken coverages, broken assignments. The big play to Josh Hammond, the safety was supposed to have him over the top. The one that Gilbert Firestone was in coverage. Gilbert was playing underneath leverage. That's what he was supposed to do because he had safety help over the top. And it wasn't there. You're going to see those things offensively because it is a new system. But so to answer your question, I sort of sat on the fence in that I do think we'll have hiccups, meaning I don't think game 1 will be anywhere near as good as game 7 or 8, but I still don't think you'll have as many hiccups as we had last year with Enos' system, because this is somewhat simpler. So,
not just that, but we're starting off the season this year much different and different circumstances that we did last year. We're not going up against a Florida off rip. So I think the fact that we're gonna have some quote unquote gimme games, at least they should be gimme games. I think it's gonna help out. Listen, game reps are different, man. Game reps are different, and sometimes you got to learn on the fly. So, I do believe. Whatever. I'm not even gonna go there. I don't feel like talking about last year, but I just think that it's important to get, especially when there's a new offense being implemented, new quarterback. It's good to maybe shake off any kind of rust, because you could overcome rust against lesser opponents. Frankly, it's hard to overcome rust against, for example, when we play Alabama the following year. So I think it's big that that we're going to be able to shake off rust, because there's going to be rust. I mean, it's not going to click, off rip, and we're not going to be, seeing the full capability of this offense, the first game or the first game or two. that we're gonna see later on in the year. So, but Shane says, Junior, what are the twins' names? My wife and I are expecting our second baby this July. Congratulations, first of all, Shane.
God bless. God bless. Shane.
Praise Christ, 100%, man. My boy's name is Ezekiel,
but we call him Zeke.
But we call him Ezekiel Noel Rivero, and Olivia Esperanza is the baby girl's name,
and we call her Livy.
Yeah, we call her Livy, man. So you already know.
They already have their nickname. Orange and green blood is in here. Cohen, it's all about the you, Cohen. This is for you.
Yes, sir. Hey, and I had to wear my because I was listening to you and Uzo and Slim, and talking so much about this guy right here.
Yes, sir.
All right, I had to. You guys pumped me up, and I had to rock the jersey of the GOAT, man. Because
that's right.
This is I got a Reed jersey.
I got a Ray
Lewis jersey.
You can't light it, of course, inside the house. But since you're wearing Ed Reed's jersey, you got to pop in a cigar in your mouth.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, I know. I gotta get it. I got him right there, actually. But yeah, not to do it right, I gotta do that. But
you gotta have that cigar in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Saeed. I don't know if you guys saw Thad Franklin recommitted to Miami after decommitting in December. He recommitted.
That's huge, man.
One of the things that you guys, I don't know if you guys have realized this, Eric Hickson is a monster.
He's killing it.
Dude, nobody ever talks about him.
He's killing it, man.
Nobody ever talks about this dude, and this dude is the beast.
Thank you, Joe.
Is the beast. Listen, a lot of times people are quick to criticize our coaches if they miss out on guys. Look at what Mr. Hickson has done since he's gotten here. He kept the Don Chaney commitment, even through the 6th and 7th season. He kept Chaney in the class. Then he goes out and gets Jalen Knighton, another top 10 running back in the country. And then he gets Thad Franklin to recommit.
And not just that, but think about this, and this is why. Because frankly, I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't see that commitment coming. Because especially he's looking. Look at the running back room that he's looking at. Those are the kind of guys that you want, man.
And by the way,
those are the kind of guys that you want.
He addressed it. He says, "Yeah, I know they got talent there in the running back room, but it's not like they have a ton of depth. So I'm going to go there and compete."
Yeah.
That dude was a beast, man. That dude, not only did he run for like 2,200 yards last year, his junior year, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He's like 215, big dog.
He is a grown man already.
He's 215 pounds already, man.
And what did he do in the state title game? The 3A title game. Oh, he only rushed for 300 yards.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Monster, dude. I'll tell you what, that running back room, as crazy as it is this year, I think it's just as crazy, if not more crazy, next year with Thad Franklin added to it.
I'll tell you what, man, the amount of talent that we're getting in the running back room, I mean, obviously, you never know how things shape out, but because like obviously when you look back, you're like, okay, when we had Gore, McGahee, Portis, Najee. We had Peyton. I mean, it's like we're able to look back on it now because we saw what they did and we saw what they turned into. But talent-wise, man, we're putting together collective talent in that running back room that is second to none, frankly, in the country, in my opinion. So it's exciting to see. It's really, really exciting to see.
Yep. Saeed was talking about Thad's speed. Thad, I want to see. I'm going to withhold my judgment until I see his measurables this upcoming year. Because I think this upcoming year in the camps, we're going to get to see where he's running the 40 now. We're going to get to see where his vert is, and we can project a little bit better what his speed's going to look like going forward. That's a good example. James Jackson was a good example in terms of that type of running back that doesn't wow you with the measurables, but he is productive. As far as I saw Anthony was asking about Zach Evans. Anthony, I don't think that was even a real thought.
What's up, Eddie?
What do you say, Martin, joining us from Botswana? He said that Robert Burns will get more reps this year. Martin, at the very
Hopefully in short yardage situations, especially.
at the very least, I want to see him in their short yardage.
Yeah.
The thing with Zachary Evans, I think number one is our classic number one type of running back. We had Don Chaney in the fold, and that's who we wanted. I think what we needed was not a carbon copy of that. What we needed was a Jalen Knighton. The way Rooster plays is a perfect fit for this spread offense. It's a perfect fit to do all kinds of creative things with him. So it's a compliment to Don Chaney. So, and I don't, that's not the case with Zachary Evans. So I don't think, Anthony, that there was really any interest there from our part, because I think we more or less early on, and listen, you got to hand it to Eric Hickson on this aspect, and you have to hand it to the coaching staff. Early on, our goals were keeping Don Chaney in the class and going after Rooster. Because you remember when people are saying, "Oh, how about Henry Parrish? How about, what are we going to know?" And listen, the staff kept going after Rooster.
Henry Parrish is a baller. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. And I'll be rooting for him because the young man does nothing but produce. Okay, but the compliment that we needed to Chaney was Jalen Knight.
Oh, 100%.
And you look at Jalen Knight, that's a whole different body type, whole different type of speed. I mean, you're looking at a legit
he's a beast for sure.
Different skill set. Yeah, Parrish is a beast, no doubt. But frankly, the two guys that we have, I obviously put them ahead of Parrish, but it was not just the fact of their talent, but the fact that their skill sets complement each other.
Right.
Where Don Chaney's your legit typical number one running back, and Jalen Knight is that dude who is going to be everything out of the backfield, lining up in the slot, running jet sweeps from the slot. Doing all kinds of creative things. It's a great combination, so I don't think we really had an interest in anybody else. Orange and Greenblood had a good question. He said, what are our prediction for points per game? Listen, he got 41 at SMU. We definitely have more talent, but we also play a different type of schedule than SMU plays, and being a group of 5 school. But man,
I think we should be able to average 30.
Oh no, I'm just thinking 35. Yeah, I'm thinking
big dog. Those are some very high expectations, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Listen,
don't do that.
We have De'Aaron.
Don't start doing that. Don't start doing that.
De'Aaron King, and we have the spread.
Yeah, 35 points a game, man. That's
spread. Listen, this dude averaged over 80 plays a game offensively when he was at SMU last year. So he runs up tempo. He runs. We're going to get a lot more plays in a game than what you saw last year. A lot more. Where if our average last year, I haven't really checked that, but it's probably somewhere because of the system.
I'm still hesitant saying 35 points a game. I understand the spread takes some pressure off of the offensive line, but I would like to see how that offensive line looks in the first couple of weeks before I could honestly say 35 points a game.
Well, and you have to remember, we
Not
also
just
have
big dog. These guys need to be in shape, man.
Well, we also have De'Aaron King, and remember, one of the things that De'Aaron King does to you is he makes you keep your rush lanes. You can't go 100%. After him and give him an out, because if you let him break contain, you're in trouble, because he extends plays looking downfield, and if you are covering, then if you're man to man, then he's gone with those legs. So we'll see. You're right. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I think 35.
Martin, we definitely have the talent. Talent has never been an issue for the University of Miami, in my opinion. But I'm just we'll see. We'll see. No, I get it. Look, I'm just I'm being a devil's advocate here, because 35 points a game, man. You're talking about. You guys are expecting this offense to click on all cylinders year one. We'll see. I think it has a potential to get there, but hey, man, 35 points a game. That's crazy. Now, if you can guarantee me that we're gonna get the De'Aaron King from 2018, then 100% I'll say 35 points a game. I want to see if we're going to get the 2018 De'Aaron King.
I got you.
That's where I'm at. So we'll see, man. I'm more aligned with Zoe. Zoe says 28. Gallo Negro says 30. That's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at. So, you know, I would say 30, just 30 is a nice number. Even though some games is, you know, hard to get just 30. So, but 28, you know, between 28, 33, around there. But 35, I think that's, I'll tell you what, you tell me right now that the University of Miami is going to average 35 points a game on offense, man, and I'm feeling very nice about this season coming up. Very nice, because we scored 35 points a game, man. There's no way.
That's a double-digit win season with our
That's
defense.
a double-digit. Yeah, well, exactly my point. With our defense, that's a double-digit win right there.
Yep. Dante had mentioned Aaron McLaughlin, the quarterback for the 2021. Dante, we're as usual, we're thinking with the same mind, man. I really like him too. 6'4", 225. Kid's athletic enough and tremendous passer. Really developed in terms of the way he's a passer. That could be a 2021 guy for sure. I'm with Big Dog. Yeah, one stage. Yeah, absolutely. De'Aaron King, listen. De'Aaron, and this system, Barton, is so much better. This system is so much of a better fit with our personnel that it's scary. It's scary. And I think with Brett Lashley, unlike what happened with Enos, I think we have a guy who's going to take advantage of individual skill sets. And I know he's a true freshman, but you look at Jalen Knighton's skill set, man, you get that guy the ball in space. You look at Mark Pope, get that guy the ball in space.
Yeah, we were saying the same thing last year, Bill.
No, true, but we were promised that. That's what we were promised Enos would do, and Enos didn't do that from the jump. From the jump. You know,
I want to see it.
I was talking to I think it was I was talking to Zoe today, and I can't remember, the conversations are mixing together for me. But one of the things that we talked about was, you look at what was the first carry in short yardage situation for Robert Burns last year was in game 12, because we had no other choice. That's not going to happen this year. That's not going to happen this year. So that lets me feeling that I do like Moss too, Martin. I do. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with the QBs. I mean, we'll see where we get some traction. I think we have some traction with Moss, because what it looked like it was coming down to with him was Cal, UCLA, and us. And obviously they have the location advantage, but I think the young man really likes Miami. So we'll see what happens with that. Yeah, so I mean, no doubt, when we score 30, we win with the way our defense is played. So, a Gallo Negro was talking about McLeod and coming back to the linebacker room. I love the idea. When he went to Manny last year and asked to redshirt, I thought to myself a couple of things. I said, that's a very mature young man, and I'm so glad that he's doing it, because we need that experience in the linebacker room. Listen, look at the guys that I think will be big for us this year. Sam Brooks, Avery Huff, guys that, Brooks is a sophomore, Avery Huff is a redshirt freshman, academic redshirt last year. Those guys are going to be part of that rotation. Then you have Jennings, who's coming back from a serious injury and has some playing experience, but nowhere near as much as McLeod. Wayman Steed has dealt now with knee surgery, major knee surgeries, 2 different times. So there's more question marks in that linebacker room than there is answers. Now, is there talent? Yeah, I know everybody likes Sam Brooks. Listen, you guys did not get a chance to see Avery Huff because of the academic redshirt. Avery Huff is a beast. I'm telling you, that guy, I think, lining up, he's going to be our starting weak side linebacker this year. And he's going to play that Pinckney role. And I'm going to tell you, I don't like to do this to young guys, but Avery Huff reminds me of Jesse Armstead. That's who he reminds me of. Even his body type is similar to Armstead. He has those long arms. The way he plays, listen, that dude's going to be serious, but we lack experience. So now having McLeod coming back, that's huge. That is huge because now, and yeah, Rick Badboy says we're going to have speed at linebacker this year. Absolutely, absolutely, Rick. Much more speed than we've had in the last 4 years. But so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see, and plus, obviously, we have. I mean, Tyreek Austin Cave, I think, could be an early contributor. Corey Flagg is a rotational type guy, probably a red shirt. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I mean, Flagg is definitely a tackling machine. There's no doubt about that, Anthony. And I'll tell you what, Tyreek Austin Cave is a tackling machine too. So, Austin says Huff and Austin Cave are slept on. They have so much potential. Absolutely. Listen, if you guys don't know, Austin Cave at 210 pounds was running the 55-meter in track. So you're talking about serious sprinting speed with Austin Cave. Mm-hmm. So, and hopefully the injury that's going to apparently keep him out of spring. Manny said all the people that are being kept out of spring, they're all full go come summer. So no expected injuries or anybody hurt come summer. Big Will, what do you say, Will?
What's going on, Will?
Too. I hadn't said what's up to Dante and Baltimore Kane. One of the guys had made, I think it was Tabardine, was talking about that he expects a legit competition for quarterback. And I how can I put this? I don't disagree. That's a double negative.
I disagree on it. I disagree.
Well, that was my point. I sort of agree while disagreeing at the same time, Tabardine. And again, I know this is a middle of the road answer. I do think by appearances to the team and to the quarterbacks, it's a legit open competition. I think coming out of spring, De'Aaron King will be named the starter.
I completely disagree with both of your takes on that.
You think before the spring?
I think the team knows and the quarterback knows that De'Aaron King is going to be the quarterback no matter what, man.
I get it, but you can't. You have to at least give the appearance of a legit competition.
You can make it seem like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you do that in spring, that's fine. And then come the rest of the time, then you name De'Aaron King the starter at the end of spring.
Okay, but that's
plenty of time.
That's besides the fact, though, big dog. That's besides the fact that the team knows why De'Aaron King is being brought in here.
True, but if Nkosi or
Tate
were to outperform De'Aaron King, you can't trot him out there as a starter because you're going to lose your team. I don't think that's going to happen because I think De'Aaron King's going to outperform both of them and Peyton Matocha and Tyler Van Dyke and I think he's going to do that. But you at least have to give him the opportunity to win the job and not have it handed to him.
So do you think that the pitch to De'Aaron King was come to Miami so you could compete to be a starter?
You cannot guarantee anybody a starting position. Man.
So okay. No, I know I agree with you, but do you really believe within your heart that Rhett Lashley was talking to De'Aaron?
Manny Diaz and Rhett Lashley, when they're sitting down talking, they're talking about De'Aaron.
No. I'm talking about what they said to De'Aaron King.
I think they told him, obviously, you have to win the competition. You have to win a competition.
I disagree.
You have to earn the starting spot.
I disagree.
The starting spot.
I disagree, dude.
I don't think they told him.
He doesn't come down here, man. He doesn't come down here.
Dude, I think every team would tell him.
Look, I'm not saying that they went in there. They were like, "Listen, man, you come to Miami, you're 100% going to be the starter." But they were honest with him. They were saying, "Listen," they were probably saying is what I'm guessing is, De'Aaron, come to Miami. We've had, as you've seen, we've had inconsistency at the quarterback position. We got some guys that are thinking about transferring because when they talk to De'Aaron King, I'm sure they already had an inkling with Jaren, especially if they're going to bring him in. So, and they were like our struggles. There's a lot of issues going on in the quarterback room. I think you can come in and lead this team to where we needed to be. That's what the conversation was like. It wasn't like, listen, De'Aaron, come to Miami. We have a bunch of talented guys in Nkosi and Tate and Matocha, and we got Tyler Van Dyke coming in. come over here and compete and help, make our guys better, and maybe you have a shot to win the competition. No, man.
Well, I'm not saying they necessarily said maybe, but yeah, you have to win a competition, man. You can't come from somewhere else and just be handed a slot. Jalen Hurts, I'm sure Jalen Hurts knew he was going to be the starting quarterback at Oklahoma.
Right, and you think the players at Oklahoma were like, "Nah, it's an open competition."
No,
even though
listen,
Jalen's coming through.
Listen, there was a lot of people that were talking about Spencer Rattler.
Dude, come on, big dog.
Spencer Rattler was a 5-star quarterback.
Nobody, Jalen, everybody knew.
You're not understanding the nuance of it, is what I'm saying, man. There's a nuance of it that they have to say to De'Aaron King, listen, we think you could be our quarterback and lead us this year. Of course, you're going to have to win a competition.
Well,
and I think any football player
a little more things, more convincing things were said.
I'm sure
than that.
But there was no guarantees.
Hey, man, listen, we're not saying you're going to start. Wink, wink. But if you come to Miami.
Correct. But of course, listen, guys, I'm 100% confident that De'Aaron King's going to be our quarterback, hopefully barring injury, come September. I don't have any doubts about that either. But what I'm saying is, exactly, Saeed, what I'm saying is, and a lot of people were talking about that in Oklahoma's summer practices and stuff, that there was still a battle going on. Now, obviously, Jalen Hurts was going to win that battle, and he ended up being a Heisman finalist. So, obviously, it was a good choice. Mm. But you're right. I mean, you have Rattler's the truth, and then what ends up happening is you can lose him and you can lose the team if you bring in somebody and then say, oh, the job is yours. They're going to have a competition.
If De'Aaron King comes in and completely poops the bed,
right,
and he gets outperformed, then that's one thing.
That's what I'm saying, and that's not going to happen.
Okay,
I know
fine.
That's not gonna happen.
But okay, fine. But then I'm gonna phrase this to you: if everybody's on a level playing field, okay, so Nkosi, let's just say Nkosi, because I think I don't expect Peyton Matocha to be up there, and I just don't think
Tyler's ready yet.
Well, Tyler and Tate Martell, I'm not. So I think Nkosi, no matter what, is going to be the backup quarterback. But let's just say they're neck and neck.
It's De'Aaron King's job.
That's my point.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. But he has to be at least neck and neck. Is my point.
Oh, well, yeah, big dog. He can't start spring and start throwing picks left and right.
Correct.
Obviously, but
that's my point.
But the team knows.
Yes,
that's that dude. Just like they know that the person that's going to be starting opposite of Rousseau on the other end is going to be Quincy Roche.
Maybe.
Oh, you think Jalen Phillips is gonna jump in there?
If Jalen Phillips is 100%,
Jalen Phillips still hasn't played.
Hold on. If Quincy Roche played at Temple.
Okay, so.
Okay. Jalen Phillips, the little he played was at UCLA.
He hasn't played, big dog, since 2017.
Dude, I know this. What I'm saying is, if Jalen Phillips is 100%.
That's a big if, though, man.
Oh, it is a big if. But if he's 100%, he's as talented as Gregory Rousseau is.
Yes,
which is more talented than Quincy Roche is, as good as Quincy is.
Yeah, I agree with you there, 100%.
There you go. That's my point.
I just think it's gonna take time for Phillips to get
absolutely
in shape
and getting hit and hitting and getting blocked and keeping people away.
But don't get me wrong. Like once he gets his feet wet and once he gets some snaps under his belt, then I absolutely agree with you that it could be Phillips and Rousseau.
You can see those three guys getting equal reps.
Oh yeah, no.
You could see, and that's a good thing about defensive line. You want to come at him in waves. You have to come at him with a rotation.
Right. No, yeah.
So that's a great listen. Those three guys put in that fourth guy as Jafari Harvey.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, because I'm seeing that you guys, a lot of people are saying that Jalen Phillips will start. I'm not saying he's not gonna start. I'm saying game 1 of the
Right.
2020 season.
Who knows if he's going to be 100% Jalen Phillips?
Not just that. I mean, yes, you could take a bunch. You could, scrimmages are cool, and I mean, listen, Zion Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, was a beast in camp, and he got all the praise from Butch Berry. Lined up against the Gators, and what happened?
Yeah, poop the bed.
It's different, man. It's different. Once you need game reps under your
True.
belt, especially if you haven't played in a couple years.
Hold on. We saw there's a reason why Jalen Phillips was the number 1 player in 2017.
Big dog, I'm not saying that the talent has nothing to do with it.
Right. You're right that he has to be 100% in football shape and football ready. But the thing is,
like Brett said, it's a great problem to have.
Absolutely, Brett. I'll take that problem every single day.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
If you look at in my entire life, man, there's very few tape that I've seen that has made me squirm as much as Jalen Phillips' tape.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Phillips, when he has a beat on the QB, literally, guys, watch his tape. Watch Jalen Phillips' tape on Huddle. He has a beat on the QB. Instinctively, you go, ooh, because you fear for the quarterback.
100%.
Because his closing speed is ridiculous. Ridiculous. It's otherworldly. And that's, I mean, listen, the number 1 player in the country coming out of high school says something, okay, for his talent.
For sure.
You're right. Quincy Roche is game ready. He's open up the box and start playing with it.
That's what I'm saying. No, Alice Mitchell. I'm not saying Zion is Phillips. My point is that regardless if Phillips, because he wasn't practicing with the team.
Right.
This past year, he wasn't even practicing with the team. He was on the sideline, so he needs to get into spring. Okay, I know he's been lifting weights because he looks,
he's a monster. Yeah,
excuse me. So my only point is that you go through spring, summer program, by yourself or whatever. Come fall, cool. We'll see how he it's gonna be one of those things. Like once the team saw what, even though we knew to a certain extent what Rousseau could do, and that the talent was there, it took a couple games, wrongfully so, for him to go ahead and get a meaningful amount of snaps.
5 games,
right? So that's the only point that I'm trying to make.
No, I
don't think Phillips is. Listen, I don't think the talent that Phillips has.
Big Will just said
Roche can't hold a candle up to the talent that Phillips has.
There you go.
I'm not saying that. Right. I'm just saying that
Big Will was defending you, saying, because you said, but the Zion Nelson, obviously you weren't comparing him, but Big Will said Jalen Phillips Zion Nelson doesn't have Jalen Phillips' injury history either.
Right, exactly. Right. And Jalen Phillips has been out of football for a while, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just see. The potential is there. We know what he can do. Like you said, he was a number 1 rated player overall in 2017 for a reason.
Not just the number 1 player. He was a transcendental player. Yeah. His tape was the type of tape that you see once every 10 years. In terms of a dude that size with that type of closing speed and instinctually that type of football player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I do get your point. Yeah. He does have to prove that he's ready to go.
Yeah.
But
that's going to be, and listen, man, Harvey's another one.
Harvey's a monster, man. Harvey's a monster.
It's going to be crazy. Let me I'm going to get some water. Big dog, give me 1 second.
You got it. But that's the thing. I mean, listen, that is a great. What do you say, Wholesome? Oh, I got you, man. Well, thank you so much, man, for checking in with us, and you'll be part of the rewatch squad, and much love right back at you, man. Big Finch. Listen, I agree with you. I think Zion will be a pro when all is said and done. He was thrown in an ideal world. Zion would have never played. In an ideal world, he would have been a redshirt candidate, and a guy who would have played really his third year, basically his redshirt sophomore season. But we had to put him in there because we didn't have really any other viable option other than DJ Scaife. So listen, that's amazing to me that he did play as a true freshman, coming from being a lowly regarded guy who had basically no major offers, to get one, to gain 50 pounds like he did. I'm still a Zion Nelson fan, but he obviously had a real tough time. So, but we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Yeah, Uncle Joe, I'm really excited about my New York connection, man. Lissette and Harrison Hunt, I think we'll start getting some playing time this year, and you're going to see some special dudes there, special dudes. So, let's see here. Oh, somebody was asking talking about like what SMU. Brett Varner says had 300 plus touches, with what our record with similar touches would be. And Brett, that's one of the things that people don't realize, guys. The spread is really a running offense, because what you're doing is forcing guys to be out of the box. So if you have a numbers advantage, which means either you have a +1 as an offense, or you have even an even match as an offense, is considered a win in that area. That's, you run the ball, and then you go up tempo. If, for example, if they go nickel, or God forbid if they go dime, and we're running, let's say 11 personnel, so we've got 3 wides, a tight end, and a running back, we could still run it right down their throat. Mm-hmm. And we have, with Will Mallory and Brevin Jordan, we have the ability to play a 12 personnel and still be a passing offense, which is what the promise was that Dan Enos.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And he didn't do it.
A 12 personnel sounds familiar.
Aiden Chris, Chance Williams is a monster, man. Chance Williams ran a 4.5 and change after he gained the weight. He's up, I think he's probably up close to 240 now. He still ran a 4.6, but he ran a 4.5 40 at DN in Chance Williams. So listen, we got a lot of people. Yeah, we did talk about that, Zoe. We have a lot. Oh, by the way, before I forget, guys, Zoe and I were talking today. One of the things that we want to do this upcoming season is I have issues going to the games because I have to sit with leg room and stuff like that with my knees. But what I do want to do is go down there for a tailgate, and we're gonna do. We can watch the game in the parking lot with a big screen TV and stuff. 786. Some of the guys are gonna provide food.
Damn. So hold on, let me get this straight. So this is what I need to get the big dog to a game.
Well, I'm not going to go inside the stadium. That's the thing.
So it's not enough for you. Why not?
No, dude, because I can't do that. I can't sit in that position for 4 hours, man.
We'll get the aisle seats, man, where you can put your leg out.
Yeah, if we can get aisle seats,
get a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I'm just having a problem with the fact that it takes 786 and it takes Zoe and it takes everybody campaigning for you to go to a game. And I've been trying to get you to come down here to go to a game with me.
All right. Well, you're going to be there, obviously. So
I'm yeah.
Game with you. So, but we are going to plan a meet and greet, guys. And I want to see all you guys out there with us. Yeah, Brett, they told me they gave me a golf cart, so I didn't have to do much walking. But I want to see you guys out there. And when we do have that meet and greet and that tailgate party with everybody, I want to see you guys out there coming up to us and saying hello.
All right, Canes fam. So this is what I need from y'all, man. We can't forget about this and we can't let this go. All right. I need everybody to keep on campaigning. Zoe, you keep on campaigning for this. 788. All you guys keep on campaigning for this, and then hopefully we'll make this happen, man. All right. No more excuses. Like McLovin says, no more excuses, big dog.
You got it.
You got a lot of people that want to meet you, big dog. All right.
Thank you.
Not so much Junior,
Yeah.
because
No, they want to meet you too.
I'm the sidekick and I'm the tech guy
No,
with the Junior, the big dog.
no,
But
you're the brains and the looks of the
the
outfit.
man, the man, the myth, the legend. You guys want to see this big dog in person, in action, man. You got to keep on campaigning and keep on putting the full court press on Big Dog to get his butt down here. And
I'm gonna do it. Hey, Gallo
any,
Negro,
any information on the spring game? Is it going to be available to the public? Because I haven't seen nothing.
I haven't seen I haven't seen any information on that yet, at all. Yeah. So, hey, Gallo Negro, I'm gonna let you guys know we game well in advance.
Yeah.
All right, well in advance, guys. So that way, if you guys can plan on being there, I'd love to see you all there.
Hey, let me tell you something. So, I cannot go to an FSU game with my wife.
Yeah,
that's not something. That will not. That most likely will never happen, man. For a few reasons. All right. Number one. Let me say this, and I don't want you guys to get the wrong impression, but I get testy when it comes to rivalry games. All right, naturally, okay, especially against FSU, I get a little crazy. All right, and so there's like a double-edged sword because of how crazy I get. If I was by myself and I was single, then whatever, I would go. But the fact that if I go, my wife is gonna be testy already because it's against FSU, and that she's gonna be decked out in her FSU gear. So then, us Canes fans get a little rowdy if somebody says something crazy to the wife, then I'm gonna have to. So there's a lot of factors that go into why I don't even go to FSU games with her, man, because it gets crazy. It gets crazy, and she's not gonna let me go to an FSU game by myself. I'll tell you that much, because I would have to like lock her up or do something, because I would need to drag her up to FSU game, but I get crazy. I get crazy with that FSU.
No, but he wanted you to pick whatever other game you want also to go to go see him. So you get your pick other than the FSU game.
100%, man.
Austin says that he'll come if I don't. What's up with that, Austin?
That was say again.
Austin Kane that he was messing around saying that he'll come if I don't.
Oh,
yeah, he was just messing around. But yeah, I'd love to have all of you there, man. I want to see all you guys there, as many of you as I can see. But I will tell you well ahead. I'll tell you what, probably by next week, I'll know more or less which game it'll be, because I have to plan and see. Because I want to also obviously spend a ton of time when I'm down there with my new grandkids and hanging out with the family and stuff like that too. So, but I'll let you guys know well in advance what game it'll be. And I'd love to do that, man. I thought that was such a. You remember, what did I tell you when I was down there? That I'd like to at least go for a tailgate.
Oh, you have. No, you've always said that.
Yeah, if I don't go inside the stadium, at least I'll tailgate it and watch it on TV. But that's my problem is, guys, I was telling Zoe this today. Back in 2011, and by the way, since 2011, they had to redo my knee replacement. And they have to redo it yet again on my left one. The knee replacement on the right one, they're going to have to redo also. But I've had like 6-7 surgeries since then. But in 2011, we were in Vegas, and my wife got me tickets to that Cirque du Soleil, the Elvis Presley show. And I was in so much pain because of the lack of leg room. We had really good seats, but they were in the middle of the row, and I had no leg room. And man, I was in so much pain that it literally ruined the rest of the vacation. And that was when I was in much better shape back in 2011.
Yeah.
So
Big Dog is like the he's like Iron Man, just not as superhero ish, because if Big Dog were to fall,
yeah, there'd be pieces of
screws and metal pieces, and you just hear ding 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 ding, ding all over, because there's a lot of metal in both of those knees. So,
Brett, I live in Ohio. I live like right between, I guess, as close as big city. I'm like a half an hour out of Dayton, but basically
thank you, 904.
Right between Columbus and Cincinnati is where I live.
Yeah. Shane. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do a roster breakdown and a projected depth chart, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'm trying, man. I don't even feel like saying it anymore because I feel like I say it every single freaking chat. But my laptop is almost finished, man. Laptop is almost finished. We still got to break down. Listen, we still got to break down
Daz Worsham. We have a bunch of these.
Jazz, Keyshawn Smith.
Yeah.
We got to break down Isaiah,
Isaiah.
I don't know why I keep on saying Isaiah. It's Isaac Dunson.
Isaac Dunson. I call him Isaiah too.
I know, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it's Isaac. It's Isaac. We got to break down Isaac Dunson. Got to do a lot of breakdowns. I want to do a breakdown of Roche. I want to do a breakdown of De'Aaron King.
There you go.
I can't wait to get back to to our breakdowns, man. So I'm waiting for that laptop, man, to go ahead and bring those, those recruiting breakdowns to you guys. And soon we're gonna we'll see how it goes. But I would like to start covering maybe a segment where we could start covering already 2021 recruits and some guys to look out for, man. So whenever that does get fixed, man, me and the Big Dog are gonna be posting a lot of videos, man. So if you guys are not subscribed yet, man, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get notified anytime we do upload a video, man. Because when that laptop gets fixed, they'll be coming in a flurry. All right, I promise you that, man. The videos are usually no longer than like 10 minutes, man. We just go over their film, we go over their measurables, we go over their high school stats, and we go over on what we think they could bring to the table. So, when that gets fixed, man, those videos are gonna be coming. I don't want you guys to think that me and the Big Dog stopped doing those recruiting videos for any reason, man. I know a lot of you guys got brought on to our channel because you liked our recruiting breakdowns and our player breakdowns and those videos and whatnot. So we will continue to do those, man. So I promise you guys that's my word. So be on the lookout.
I'm getting roasted, and then I have some defenders.
What's up?
Hurricane Millie says I'm the new Frankenstein, which is pretty odd, pretty appropriate. And then somebody Taz Land called me that I'm a real G.I. Joe action figure. Brett was saying that I'm Iron Man but without the superpowers.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
But that's about it. But I know you guys are messing with me, and I enjoy it. So but anyway, you Dante's.
Very quick, yeah. I'm gonna read his. I'm gonna read Dante's right now. That's why I put it up there. Dante's always coming with those fire. Comments,
Dante, you always bring it.
Man. Martin says, "Big Dog." He says, "I will send you YouTube videos of doctors in India and can brief you offline. They made a believer out of me."
Thank you, Martin. Yeah,
that could work, man.
The guy that I'm with now, Martin, is a guy who specializes not just in knee replacements, but in trouble with knee replacements. So I'm real happy with him. But the guy that I had before, not so much, because obviously some of these things happen under his purview, and I should have known he was an Ohio State graduate, so I should not have let him do my knees now. But he was a good guy, but he just ran out of answers with the for some reason or other. I don't know if it's just because of the advanced arthritis or because I've waited too long to get them done. But the knee replacements are getting loose. I have the total ones, the ones that have the bars into your femur and into your tibia. Well, for some reason or other, it wears away at the inside of them, and then it ends up getting loose, and then that brings up all kinds of problems. So that when they had to redo it, you could ask Junior the pictures, man. I had bruises in my legs from my thigh all the way down to my ankle, and but we'll see. It's all good. Listen, my stuff was all self-inflicted for not listening to the doctors. McLovin called me Inspector Gadget. I like that one. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm sorry, dude. I actually lost track of what I was saying.
No, you're good, Big Dog. We're going to talk about Dante's comment here. He says, "Add Junior the Big Dog with the last scholarship left. What would y'all do with it? If offensive lineman, USC, LSU, or waited out? If wide receiver, Tyreek Black, Rico Bussy Jr., or waited out?" It did, for me, honestly, since it's that last one, man, I would like
Good
to
question.
see an offensive lineman.
Now, I do think Dante, not to cheat your question, but I like that Dante came up with my name should be Frankenkane.
It's not bad, man.
I like that.
It's
I
not
like
bad.
that. That
Hey,
might be my new moniker.
hey,
Um,
I like it.
I think I am going to cheat a little bit on the question, Dante, because I do believe we can still go over 25. Because remember, I think we can take one of the early enrollees and attribute them to our previous class. So I think we have a spot or two to play with. But if we only had one, yeah, I want offensive line all day long, Dante. I want offensive line all day long, and I mean
And listen, it doesn't necessarily have to like. I would like to bring an offensive lineman that has experience blocking in a spread scheme.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what I would
I'd
like
like,
to
in
see.
fact, if you gave me a pick, I'd like a lighter tackle, a guy who's like 6'5", 320, 310 that could play tackle. I,
Mhm.
I really like that. I really like that. I think we need that, even if it's not a starter necessarily, but we need that for depth. So Dante, that would be my number one pick. Would be an offensive lineman, preferably a tackle.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, Austin, I'm gonna get to that question.
Tyreek Black is one of those guys, Dante, that I think you have to make room for him, man. If he wants to come to Miami, you have to find a way to get him here.
Mhm.
So I would say I'd still want the offensive lineman, Dante, but Tyreek Black is a guy that you find a way to take.
For
Yeah.
sure. Um,
Yeah, you do. You got me finagling. That's true. That's
hey,
Dante.
hey,
Good question, though.
before we keep going, man. I want everybody in the chat to help out Junior with a very, very important decision in his life right now. Okay. Now, I don't want this to get too emotional and whatnot, but it's a serious situation I'm going through right now, and I want your guys' opinion, and hopefully you could sway me in one way or the other. Okay. I've been with Android for 10 years. Okay.
Yeah,
I've been with,
he texted
Bro,
me.
let me finish, man, because
Hold
this is
on,
a very touchy subject for me, man.
he
This
texted
is
his father yesterday
this is
saying, I got a serious problem on my hands. I'm thinking of ending a 10-year relationship. And I'm like, dude, what the hell you're talking about? He's like, yeah, man, I don't know if I should finally give up on Android and go the iPhone. And I'm like, oh man. But go ahead, man.
listen, man. I've been with Android for 10 plus. I'm due for an upgrade. All right. So this is my choice, and I don't want to hear about anything else. It's between this iPhone 11 Pro Max, okay, or one of the new Samsung S20s that they just that's coming out like March 6th. I don't know if for those of you out there that haven't seen it yet, but whatever, man. Don't do it, Junior. iPhone all day. Got the
You've had
iPhone all
both.
day.
You've had
iPhone all
both.
day.
You got people tell you stay with the droid and go to
I
the
gotta do a poll. I might have to do a poll on.
poll. That's right. Do a poll
I gotta do a poll on Twitter or
on our comment section.
what? Everybody's iPhone now. Are you guys just following the wave
I
or
keep telling him iPhone.
now? Hold on. Now hold on. It's not fair. It's not fair because if you guys have always have iPhones and you've never had an Android, then your credibility gets thrown out the window. I need somebody that's had a Droid and somebody that's had Apple. Nokia was the best, Uncle Joe. No, I love Nokias. I've always had Samsung Galaxies, always through and through. But I'm at the point now. I'm due for an upgrade, and I've had these things, for man such a long time. But then like all of my boys and all the group chats I'm in, everybody has iPhones. So yeah, everybody thinks they're cool when they're disliking certain comments
And
and
he doesn't get the group text all the time.
they're
And he
emphasizing like my text and they're disliking my text and they think they're all cool and stuff like that. And I'm just over here like, yo, I don't know how to do that, man. So I gotta like, write it out in quotations, emphasized or laughed at, and then put quotations the text just so I could feel cool. Like because I know for a fact iMessage is the best iPhone. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, man. Be different. I am different, man. I feel
Calvin,
like
this has been
I'm in the minority, man.
Calvin, this has been a 10-year battle with him because he's like, we have all these. We had to get WhatsApp. I had to get WhatsApp for my phone because he misses group
11 Pro
text.
Max.
I can't send him pictures, and stuff like that. And it's just, I'm just saying, I just want him to give up and go to iPhone. So
Team Samsung, those Team Samsung. 11 Pro Max all day. 11 Pro Max looks nice, man.
That's my point. But Mark Dudley said Android is too buggy. That's the truth. And
that's a lie, though. No, hold on. Wait a second.
Oh God.
I gotta defend my Droid. I've had no problems. I can't
send you a link or a picture.
That's a lie. Okay, sometimes it happens.
Sometimes. And you know when it happens to me? 0 times.
Big dog. Look. You're not a tech guy.
I'm
right?
not a tech guy. That's true.
All right. So that's true. So
that's true. But I do.
Don't try to hate on my Samsung. All right. When you started texting just a few years ago. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just throwing shade at Big Dog.
That's actually true. That's actually true.
iPhone is a Samsung. Yeah. If you're done with all the rooting and stuff, then go with iPhone. You want to look back. Now I don't even root my Android. Like I don't do nothing fishy, man. Like I watch YouTube. I listen to this is funny. I'm always on Apple Music. I know, but whatever. And so I don't have like any weird programs. I got Netflix, I got Hulu, so like I'm like 100% legit with Android. I think I rooted my Droid a few years ago, but it was like ended up not really using it that much. But Manny Diaz has an iPhone.
That's Vincent McKay saying, messing around with Tabardine, saying like that.
See, that's where I'm at. Mo the Great. He says iPhone is limited on so many things.
Can you do me a favor, man? You had a really good question early on, and I forgot what it was. Can you repost it for me, please?
Yeah, Brett, that's Samsung Ultra, but I think it's like $1,400. Mind you, I'm not gonna pay full price for a phone. I'm gonna pay monthly for a phone, but yeah, it's like $1,400. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking it's between the S10. Not the S10, because I got the S10 right now. See, Samsung, baby. You
guys want to hear about a generational conversation? Junior asked me yesterday when we were talking about the phone, which iPhone I had, and I still don't know. I have no idea what model it is or anything. So that shows you how untechy I am. But the offensive starters, Hurricane Harden, I got you. But we're going to get to that. Thank you.
No, I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and wouldn't even be in the supermarket if it wasn't for Apple. Yeah, I know Mark. But Android devices got better because of Apple, and I feel like Apple got better because of Android. But I just feel it with this new line that Samsung's coming out with. I think they're, yeah. You know what I don't like about your little iPhones? Okay, I know you have your little Face ID, man, but this is. Look at this. Oh no, I gotta take this off. Whoops. I don't like the little cutout, the little thing that you guys have here that like takes like 2 inches off of your screen. I don't like that, man. I like my infinity display. All right, whatever. I'm gonna put up a poll and
put up a poll. I'm interested to see what the results are.
Samsung is not an Apple pretender, Mark. How much you guys want to bet that the new iPhone is gonna have a display looking a lot more like the Samsung? I'll bet you guys anything you want. Anything you want. That little cutout that iPhones always had here. All right, I guarantee you, you're gonna have a screen looking a lot more like.
Yeah, that made a major difference in my life. That really did. That little cutout.
Big dog, you can't see the cut on your phone.
I don't know. I have an outer box protecting it.
No.
Hey, I haven't broken a phone or lost a phone and ever.
And that's another thing about those iPhones. If you sneeze too hard, you could break it. You'll get a cracked screen if you squeeze too hard.
This is my phone, and at work I used to drop it all the time and stuff like that, and I had no issues with iPhone breaking. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of Apple as a company for sure, but I do. I mean, I sort of gave up and just do the
All right.
the Apple.
Thank you guys, but I've officially
put up a poll.
I've officially
Maytu Perry says
I made
Maytu Perry says Dan Enos calls offensive plays off his iPhone.
I've officially made a decision based on all the feedback I'm getting here in the chat, and that is, you guys are, everybody in the chat is just on the fence as I am. So you guys are no help, man. Thank you guys so much.
I like to see Anthony and Uncle Joe talking about UM baseball too. Yeah. Oh, Chug Mobeer with the donation. Thank you, Chug.
Oh, here we go. See, Junior. Oh
man, thank you.
Junior, only iPhones on my UM tailgate domino table. LOL. I drop my phone all the time and it never breaks.
Chug, we're gonna do some domino playing when I'm down there too. And you got to remember something. El diablo sabe más por viejo que por diablo. Recuérdate eso. I just told him, I said, an old Cuban saying that the devil knows more from being old than from being the devil. So when we play dominoes, I'm going to have to take it to you. But thank you so much, Shug Mobile, with your donation.
I promise when I stop by the domino table, I'll borrow an iPhone. I'll leave my wife with the iPhone because my wife has an iPhone. I'll leave my wife with the iPhone, and then with the Joy, and I'll take the iPhone. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if my carrier has any perks with pre-ordering it next week. And if they don't, then I'm probably gonna go to iPhone. But if they have perks, then I might go with the Samsung, because I know last year when I got the Samsung, when I pre-ordered the Samsung, I got some free Galaxy earbuds. So we'll see if they have any promotion. If they don't have any promotion,
you got it for your earbuds. Listen, I'll give you the ones they gave me on the airplane, and you can use that one and get an iPhone.
Hey, earbuds are better than those little little AirPods that all the Apple guys come out with.
I don't know. I don't use any of them, so how the hell would I know?
I love my Galaxy earbuds.
All right.
iPhone is Miami and Galaxy is that's foul. Hurricane Harden, don't do that to me, man.
Put that comment up. Thank you so much, Hurricane Harden, again for the support, partner. Thank you, brother. Go ahead and read his comment.
Nah.
I'll read it for you. iPhone is Miami and Galaxy is Free Shoes University.
Yeah. Thank you, Hurricane Harden, for the $5 donation, man.
For 5 and 7. We'll call them 5 and 7 University.
Yeah, for real, exactly. All right, let's get back to football, baby.
That's it. I want to answer those two. Martin had a question about the scholarship limit, and Hurricane Harden about the offensive starter projection. Martin, the way it works, and guys, and I apologize if I didn't explain it properly before to you.
I didn't see it, Sammy. I gotta see it.
It's
send it to me on Twitter.
It's convoluted. Here's how you do it. Okay, you're allowed 85 maximum scholarships. You can't go above 85 ever, under no circumstances. Now, you're allowed to sign no more than 25 players each year. Here's the exception to that rule. If you have a class that is less than 25, and the following year you have 25s with early enrollees, you can apply those early enrollees to that previous class that had less than 25. Okay, did I explain that well?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're allowed 85 total, 25 per year, but you're allowed to go above that 25 if you have a previous class that had less than 25 and you have an early enrollee in that class that's going above 25, and you can apply that early enrollee to the previous class. So I hope that explains it. So that's why I believe we can go above 25. I actually thought at one time we were going to go as high as 28, but I don't see that now. I think 26 is probably the most we're going to get. We already have 24. Mm-hmm. So that's where I think that's how that rule works, Martin. Now, in terms of Hurricane Harden's question, on offense, I have De'Aaron King starting. Running back, I have Cam Harris starting. Wide receivers, I'll say in a pecking order, assuming we don't get a transfer, which is still possible. But I'm going to go just with the guys that are on the roster now. I think you'll see in this order, the guys that will get the most time will be Pope, Wiggins, Peyton. I don't know. I'll say Pope, Wiggins, Harley, Peyton. And then a couple of the freshmen will get some playing time. And so we're probably going to go about 6 deep solid. I think those will probably be Restrepo and Redding that will get the most playing time early. Keyshawn Smith should get some time on the field too. I think Daz, not as much. Daz Worsham, I think will probably redshirt. Tight end, Brevin's the starter. Will Mallory as the backup. On the offensive line, I think it's going to be, I'm going to go Zion at left tackle. Navon Donaldson at left guard. He needs to lose some weight, though. He needs to get down in the spread. He can't be any heavier, I think, than 330 in order to really stay on the field. Center will be Corey Gaynor.
A lot of weight to lose. If that's the case.
Yeah. A right guard. On the right side, I'll say this. Let me put it this way. If Jalen Rivers is ready to play right tackle, I think Jalen Rivers will be the right tackle and DJ Scaife will kick inside the guard. If he's not ready to play, DJ Scaife will be the right tackle and a battle between Ja'Kai Clark and Cleveland Reed for the starter at the right guard. So that's where I think the offensive lineup's going to be. Now,
Okay.
obviously,
I got it.
And summer to go.
Who do you think is going to be kickoff returns and a punt returner?
Good question.
That's interesting because obviously we no longer have KJ. We don't have Jeff Thomas.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people are going to say Pope, but Pope scares me a little bit back there.
I think you're going to see Pope as a punt returner for sure. I think you'll see Pope as a punt returner. Kickoff returns, I'd like to see Jalen Knighton back there. If Don Chaney is healthy, I'd like to see Don Chaney back there. So who else would I like to see back there?
Yeah, I agree with I'm with you, Motor Great.
What's that?
Motor Great says he has Ja'Kai Clark over Cleveland Reed.
No. I think you're probably right, Mo.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
But the fact that Cleveland Reed came back, I think they're at least going to give him a legit opportunity to compete for the right guard. I think Ja'Kai Clark has showed he's probably more talented. Although the Cleveland Reed that I saw in high school, man, he was a road grader. He was one hell of a blocker. And if
a lot of people saying Marcus Clark for kick returner.
Oh, there you go. No, that's a pretty good choice too. I would say Dorian says Clark with Restrepo and Knighton. I definitely like Clark and Knighton there. I don't know if I'd use Restrepo as a kick returner. I like Chaney. Listen, kick returners, I've always liked one cut speed guys, and that's Don Chaney. Don is a one cut guy. I'd like to see Chaney back there too. But yeah, but I do like those choices, Dorian.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, I understand, Anthony. Change, but at the end of the day, man, that kick returner, that's an important position because you're looking at field position, guys that can maybe break one. Listen, we don't need any. Just remember what Devin Hester did for us against the University of Florida. That's a guy, we don't win that game if it's not for our kick returns. So I'm not saying that Chaney's going to be Devin Hester, but he is a one cut type of guy. So
Brett saying Avante has experience in returning kickoffs, returning kicks.
Avante is a quality athlete too.
He is.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me seeing Avante back there.
Dante says Rooster, Marcus Clark,
Avante. Kick returner, you need to have a sturdier guy. Knighton, even though he's only 5'9", or he's 195. Chaney is sturdier. That you want a little bit of a bigger guy back there because you don't want Avante, at 170, 105, or 180 when he reports, you don't want a guy like that getting lit up on kick returns. And punt returns, I do say Pope. I do see Pope as being the punt returner. Vontae, I think, could be a punt returner. Marcus Clark could be a great punt returner. In fact, I think Clark will push for playing time at that punt returner too.
That's gonna be interesting to see, man. If I had to bet any kind of money, I would say Pope to be the punt returner, and for kickoffs,
you got to put Knighton on kickoffs. You have to. The way Knighton runs, man, he's trouble. Rooster's trouble at kick returns. And Clark, listen, Clark is
nice
talented.
Rooster back there. That would be nice to see Rooster back there. Yeah.
Yellow says paid. I don't see him as a return man. I mean, it's Hurricane Noodles. I do see Noodles probably being ends up being the number one guy at punt return.
Yeah.
Calvin Dixon says, "Who's Miami's best athlete?" That's a good question, man.
Oh, wait a second. Who asked that?
Calvin Dixon. Who's our best athlete?
You at Calvin?
Oof, that's a good question, Calvin. Man,
best athlete.
Man, yeah, that's a heck of a good question.
I have somebody, and you will not believe. You will not believe who came to my mind. One of the first ones that came to my mind.
Ooh.
Jordan Miller's up there for me, man.
Yeah, but you can't as an all-around athlete. I mean, he's talking about speed and all that stuff.
Okay, but
if you're gonna pick a lineman, it'd be Greg Rousseau. Because Greg Rousseau showed
Jordan Miller could do backflips, big dog.
No, Miller's a beast. Miller's a beast. But Greg Rousseau could cover a running back. You saw that last year. Even though the guy caught the pass.
I'm just comparing weight and size comparable to
but Rousseau, listen, what was Rousseau's thing in high school? He played everywhere. He played safety, D end, linebacker, tight end, wide receiver. They played Rousseau everywhere in high school, and he led the state title. That's a good question, Calvin. Man, Clark, I think, is going to be up there as around a total athlete. Listen, you look at Tate Martell's spark score was off the chain, but he didn't have that necessarily the speed.
Cheney's up there for me.
Cheney's a beast of an athlete. You're looking at a guy that ran a 10-8 100.
I can't really somebody like.
You know what? Listen,
Jalen Phillips.
Cheney ran a 10-8 100 meter.
Yeah.
He won two state titles in a row? Three. He won 3 state titles in the high jump.
Yeah, De'Aaron King is a hell of an athlete too.
De'Aaron King's a beast too.
All right, so you got to pick one, big dog. Just pick one.
Traditionally, when you say athlete, you mean
size, speed, power,
all kinds of things. I'd say you'd be hard pressed to find a better one than Don Cheney.
Yeah,
3-time state champion in the high jump. That's saying something.
That's where I'm going.
10-8 100 meter. 4.5 40, 210 pounds. That's hard to beat.
Yeah, Martin says Jalen Phillips has speed and power. That's best true. Athlete by far.
That's true. He has speed and power.
Oh, the defense. That was Adam Algamall, right? The basketball player.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, we have a bunch. Jason Blissett was a basketball player too.
Who's the one that dunked? That was Gamall, wasn't it?
No, Harrison Hunt is the one that you saw that monster dunk where he came off the wing and dunked over a dude.
I don't think so, big dog. I think that was Adam Gamall.
No, it wasn't. That was Harrison Hunt. Gamall is a stud basketball player. No, there's no doubt about that. El Gamal was a stud basketball player. But the dunk that everybody saw that was like on I believe it was an outdoor court even, was when Harrison Hunt picked us over Penn State. And he's the one that had 2 plays that they kept running on a loop on Twitter and other
Oh, you
places.
see, I thought it
One
was
was Harrison Hunt dunking over some dude from the wing, and then Harrison Hunt running the fast break.
yeah.
And that's a D tackle, folks.
Yeah.
That's a D tackle, Harrison Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brett says Cheney. Sammy says Rousseau. Martin is also right. Jalen Phillips is right up there, too. Yeah. I mean, you talk about Jordan Miller. How about Harrison Hunt?
Yeah, no, that's why Austin brought him up.
Yeah, Jason Blissett. Now we got a bunch of athletes, man. We got a bunch of fast twitch dudes on this team.
Yeah, I like this comment right here by Dante. He says, "Tutu Atwell never let his weight get in the way of his kick returns.
True.
Trust Vontae and Marcus Clark and Rooster and Keyshawn Smith, Restrepo, punt returner, best athlete, Pablo Bolden, Jeremiah Payne, Jaden Phillips, studs all over. Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's studs all over, Dante. It's so hard to pick one. I like Rooster. Hey, Keyshawn, that can return kicks. Restrepo definitely is a good punt returner. I should have mentioned Restrepo in punt returns, not in kick returns. Tay and Clark. He says and Rooster and Keyshawn. I like Rooster and Cheney.
You don't think people are saying
I put Cheney in there too.
You don't think people are putting Restrepo in there because a lot of people are saying he's like the Braxton 2.0?
Listen, his sparks.
Braxton won't burn you, man. But if there's one thing you could be sure,
Restrepo can burn you.
I know.
And Restrepo's quickness and speed is tremendous, guys. Don't sleep on him.
But when it came to a fair catch, or when it came just fielding kicks in general, man, you could just close your eyes and know that when Braxton will catch that ball, it would not move, man. Yeah. He never made me nervous at all. And that's obviously I want speed back there. I want athleticism back there, but I want a guy, man, that is not gonna cough that up. He's not gonna fumble that or get hit in the face mask.
Have a good night, Joe. Zoe said he's out. Have a good night, Zoe. Thank you.
Zoe, thank you so much for the dono and for joining us, Big Dog. Thank you so much, man. But so yeah, I want a guy that has sure hands, man. Sure hands and an athlete.
Yeah, Calvin's right. Calvin said that's why we drink the Kool-Aid. You're right, Calvin, because we know the type of athletes that we have on this roster.
Exactly.
Yeah, Martin, we have those guys are all special. Harrison Hunt, and the one that Junior was talking about with Adam Al-Gamal, the offensive tackle, who I think is going to be a player when all is said and done. I think he's going to need another year, but that's another dude that's 6'7", long arms.
Yeah,
and he was a stud basketball player too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mo.
Connection, no joke, man.
Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Restrepo could end up being the number one punt returner because that's a sure-handed guy too.
Once again, it's a good problem to have.
Good problem to have, absolutely.
So what else you guys got, man? What else you guys got?
Chris A's comment. Good comment, Chris A.
He says, what's 2 or 3 things that you would like to see in spring football or week 1 that would make you believe this season will be special? Special being a New Year's 6 bowl win.
Okay. That's the standard at Miami. He's right. That should be the standard at Miami.
Let's win the Coastal first, though.
Right. No, obviously, no. But I'm saying is that's a legit standard of Miami season. That we're in the New Year's 6 and that we win the damn bowl game.
What 2 or 3 things you would like to see in spring?
Okay, I can tell you one.
Okay, go ahead.
One right off the top of my head, and that's that De'Aaron King is already taking the reins as being the true leader of the team, meaning that we start hearing, Chris, that he's leading, out of practice with just players only, he's apparently already doing this. I mean, that's one of the things that I like about De'Aaron King is he has all those intangibles that you want to see. So
For
that's
me,
what I want to see is De'Aaron King really
one
taking command of the team.
for me, it's seeing the offensive line,
Yeah.
and how the conditioning, Chris. I want to see a really good conditioning from this offensive line, man, because especially Donaldson. If I want to see Donaldson really, shred some weight, and to see the overall stamina of this offensive line is going to be moving a lot faster, pace, a lot of no huddles. They're gonna be gassed, man. So one of the things I'm gonna be looking at the most is gonna be how this offensive line responds, not just to getting better and learning from the growing pains this past year, but also how how are they looking? How are they adapting to the new offensive scheme, the spread, the up tempo? That's going to be something for me that I'm really going to be looking out for is the offensive line.
One of the things, Chris, that I'm really going to be focused on a lot is I'd like to see what our offensive tackles, Zion Nelson, John Campbell, Jalen Rivers, Chris Washington, if DJ Scaife is out there, Kalion Herbert. I want to see how our tackles
Cleveland Reed is going to be an interesting one to look at as well.
was that
How Cleveland Reed
comes back at guard.
looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But what I want to see is the tackles, how they handle Freddie Krueger, Mike Myers, and Jason, because what they're going to have to deal with in the spring is the best pass rush in the
Who do you have as your tackles again? You got Zion on the left.
and Jalen on the right. And if Jalen's not ready, then DJ Scaife back on the right tackle.
Okay, and then I missed it. So then you have Donaldson.
Donaldson at the left
Who's
guard.
your right guard?
If DJ Scaife is out at tackle, I think it'll be Ja'Kai Clark again. Obviously in a battle with Cleveland Reed. And I wouldn't be shocked if Cleveland Reed beats him out and then Ja'Kai Clark gives Corey Gaynor a run for his money at center.
You didn't like Campbell, dude?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think he's going to be.
I think when he got inserted at guard, man, especially
Yes.
when he got inserted for Donaldson
At left guard.
at left guard, man.
I think he's going to be DJ Scaife light for us. Meaning he's going to be that plug-in backup.
Think
If
so,
you need
man.
a backup guard, if you need a backup tackle, John Campbell's going to give you that type of versatility, but not necessarily as a starter.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how he develops. Big Finch feels that Campbell's going to be a stud. Listen, I was really, really high on Campbell. I was disappointed last year. I know he's a redshirt freshman. I still expected a little bit more development from him, and he is aggressive, no doubt. No doubt. And Campbell did a good job when he came in and played left guard. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Brad, I don't know what type of nutrition program they have Donaldson on, but for Navon to be on the field consistently this year, he has to be no more than 330, 335.
You got to get on that keto diet.
BW Feldes talks about the Thad Franklin comment for 2021. Oh, commit for 2021. Yeah. The one comment that actually had me a little suspicious was he said he did not want to get into the reason he decommitted originally, because they sort of asked him, was it the 6-7 record and the loss to FIU? And his response was, I don't want to get into that. So that led me to believe that maybe it wasn't just a record, that something might have happened between him and Dan Enos. And I'm wondering that. So, but he didn't go into it. But I love that commit. I love getting Thad Franklin. What was the underlying question? Oh, that we were talking about how these tackles are going to do. We have the best defensive ends in the country.
Have a good night, Anthony, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Anthony. Greg Rousseau, Jalen Phillips, Quincy Roche, Jafari Harvey, even Chance Williams and Quentin Williams. These are guys, Cam Williams, the other Williams too. These are guys that can give any offensive tackles in the country nightmares. what type of nightmares are they going to give our offensive tackle? So one of the things, Chris, that I want to hear is that our offensive tackles are at least holding their own as much as possible against those beast defensive ends.
Mm-hmm.
And that would make me feel good.
I'm with that.
Martin says likes Jalen Rivers, but I think we should now start a freshman at tackle. He can come in as depth as a starter. Yeah, in an ideal world, Martin, you never want to have a freshman offensive lineman, period, starting. Obviously, we had two last year, true freshmen at least. I really like Jalen. I really, really, really like Jalen. Jalen might end up being as one of my favorite recruits. One of the things that you guys don't, I don't know if you guys know this about,
go ahead,
about Jalen Rivers is he's a monster in the classroom too. He's a really smart kid.
Yeah.
A lot of people, in fact, thought that he might, end up spurning us to go to Stanford. Jalen has one of those grade point averages that are, because of all the AP and honors classes, is like 4.8 or some ridiculous 4.67 or some ridiculous number like that, grade point average. That's a kid that's a young man in every sense of the word, in that he puts in the work in the classroom. He puts in the work in the weight room. He puts it, because you look at him, he's 6'6", 330, and he's not carrying much bad weight at all. At all. If you see a picture of Jalen Rivers, he don't look sloppy at 6'6", 330. He looks well put together. I just think, Martin, he's that special, and we're not that special at that position. So that's why I think he might be the exception to that rule of actually playing early. That's how much I like Jalen. I mean, he is really, really, and he's a special young man. That's another one of those. Listen, they did the job. David Cooney and the coaching staff did a job, because they got a bunch of high character guys.
And let me ask you a question, big dog. What if Zion begins to struggle?
Then we have options now.
Yeah,
we have options now, because now you have Jalen.
What about because that's what I'm thinking.
Chris Washington, it needs a red shirt for sure.
No.
Okay, I didn't know if you were going to ask about Chris Washington.
No. I'm saying, like, my thinking is Jalen on the left, Scaife on the right.
That could be. That could absolutely happen.
If
even flip flop, if you don't want to go with another true freshman,
you want to go to yeah. That's a good point.
Left tackle and Jalen at right tackle.
That's a good point. But I think Jalen could be special, man.
I think Jalen is special. I expect Jalen, if not a 4-year starter, definitely a 3-year starter at Miami.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. Sometimes, guys, listen, we saw it with Jaron Williams. We saw how important character issues could be. Okay. Jalen Rivers is the opposite of that. Is a young man who's mature beyond his years.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to bring the work ethic. He's going to bring the study habits. He's going to bring all of that stuff along with him. So that's a guy that can end up being a plug and play. But you're right, Martin. Listen, in an ideal world, you don't want to see a freshman starter at the offensive line or at D tackle. Those are grown men positions. D end, listen, if you got a Gregory Rousseau should have gotten playing time as a true freshman, and he would have if it wasn't for his ankle. Mm-hmm. But so you can get a true freshman that needs to see the field at the ends. But ideally, offensive line and defensive tackle, you want grown men. You want guys in their second, third, fourth years in college when they start seeing the field. Yeah. But listen, Jalen Rivers, I think, is just that special of a young man. I really do.
Yeah, I'm with you. Demilo, Key-Rat Kane, 66. What's up, man?
What's up?
Good question here from Chuck Mobeer, man. He says, Big Dog, how many offensive linemen does Miami need in every class going forward in order to build the depth Miami needs for the future? Go Canes.
Yeah, Chuck, as excited as I am with what the staff did with this class and keeping them together, and really bringing in some high character, high quality guys, I was disappointed with our offensive line and our linebacking recruiting, and those were two positions of need for us.
I was especially disappointed with linebacker.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we missed out on all our bigger targets,
Yeah.
and we ended up basically just taking what we had.
But listen, man, if we would have had the season that thought we were gonna have, I think we probably pull flow.
Yeah, yeah. I think we put a full flow,
I
and
think
we would have shot at Trenton Simpson, being that we have his teammate Quinn Williams.
right. Keyshawn Green. I think what
That's
a
another one.
that's another one. So I mean, it
I
is what it is, man.
No, but I get the linebacker. I agree with you. I get what happened with the linebackers. I don't blame them as much for the linebackers as I do with the offensive line. Because
Oh yeah.
we knew we had Jalen Rivers and Chris Washington. And yeah, we made some runs at guys here and there. But as all the death problems that we had taking two guys.
But there's certain things that I scratch my head on.
That's an interesting one. Dante has Clark actually beating out Corey Gaynor. Moving Clark to guard and moving him from guard to center's actually his real position, anyways. And I know you know that, but just telling everybody else,
Yeah.
Shakai Clark, even though he played guard for us, he was a center in high school, so that's his legit position. That's a possibility. And Campbell at right tackle, I mean that's not a stretch at all, Dante. Even if Donaldson struggles with his weight, seeing Campbell start at left guard, that wouldn't be a stretch either. And then see maybe Jalen Rivers kicking at that right tackle. I think we'll know by the end of spring, we'll have a good idea what our starting offensive line is going to look like. So yeah, and to answer your question, Dante says no less than 3 or 4. I'd say absolutely no less than 3. And the offensive line. I don't want to see us take less than 3 any year.
No.
Any year.
And we got 2.
And Vincent brings up a point too. He says we don't need more linebackers. We only play 2. I mean, that's true.
Well, yeah, but you think about our injuries though. Think about the injuries that we have.
I didn't mention Patrick Joyner. Somebody brought up Patrick Joyner, and I hadn't mentioned him earlier. That's a guy who can give us some quality depth also. I don't see frontline guys. I see Avery Huff and Sam Brooks.
They're going to be ballers, man.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
I think Tyreek Austin-Davis is going to be a baller. I think Corey Flagg's going to be an overachiever, though. If Jennings and Wayman Steed are back from their injuries and back to 100%, I think they can be contributors.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Joyner obviously gets thrown in there also for depth. The thing is, Vincent, I'd like to see us to be able to play a 4-3. You know, it's the first year we used a striker, we used a 4-3 quite a bit. This year we went to a striker almost all the time. We didn't have linebackers. We had to end up playing Ryan Ragone and ended up having to force Sam Brooks in and all these things. So I mean, I understand what your point is, but originally the first year we played striker, we played a lot of 4-3. But last year, I think we had to play, and especially once McLeod decided to redshirt, then we were almost forced into playing a striker 100% of the time.
Oh,
Russell Harris had a good comment too. I think the horrible end to the season was a blessing in disguise. Russell, that's a legit comment. Absolutely. As much as it hurt, maybe we don't see all these things. If we would have had a good season, maybe we don't see Ed Reed back in the fold. Maybe we don't see Dane Enos getting fired. So,
what's going on, HJS? HJS, I need a nickname for you, man. Like, am I saying your name right? HJS Kane. So just weird. It's weird saying the 3 letters. Coño, I'm late. What's up, Junior? No, what's up, man? Hey, Dante, man. I thought about this and I was like, oh, but obviously I think we're in a better spot now. He says, would you rather I'll go ahead and put his comment up here. He said, would you rather have gone 8-4 or 9-4 and gotten Flo, Romelo, etc., or are you happy that we had sucked towards the end and we're better off now? Mind you, we still have Enos.
Yeah. I mean, Dante, that was Russell Harrison's point too, and you guys are both right. Listen, sometimes you do. I think a wholesome actually talked about this too, that sometimes you need to hit rock bottom.
For sure.
And we did. And maybe if we don't hit rock bottom, we don't see. but we could have had Flo. Yeah, I know that would have been nice to have.
Man, Flow. I
And
mean, listen. We land Flow, we land height, and then maybe we suck. Edos gets fired, and then we still bring in Brett Lashley, but now we got Flow. I want to Flow so bad, man, so bad.
I did
No,
too.
but that to answer your question, man, a blessing in disguise, I guess.
That's a legit point.
No, it is. It's a blessing in disguise, and I just think it's gonna prove to be beneficial just moving forward in general. I did not want to see another season of Dan Enos, because regardless of how good the defense would have been with Flo and with Romelo, and even if we would have, but I don't think I still don't think we necessarily get Flo. If I don't know, you never know. I think the loss, the way we ended the season, losing to FIU, losing to Duke, um, yeah, and just the instability around the program, I think really hurt us with Flo. I still think that even though he chose Oregon, I still think Miami was number two, regardless of what people
But I
may
do,
think.
but I do think that, and Flo made it pretty clear that the loss to FIU was sort of the end for him.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
we lost FIU was sort of the time that Flo went, nah,
I
I'm
think
not going there.
I think the fact that would you rather have Flo or Williams or Gallo Negro Flo? 100%. Don't get me wrong. I love Avante. But hey, Flo is a generational type of talent, man. Flo. I mean, I'm not saying Avante can't be that, but Flo is like,
Flo was
I
special.
have never in my life seen a linebacker in high school. I've never seen tape of a linebacker in high school that the Canes had a shot at getting like Flo, frankly. You know what I'm saying? So like,
It's been a while. I mean, DJ Williams, I'd say definitely say DJ Williams, but that's going back almost 20 years or 20 years. Yeah.
yeah, I never
Yeah.
saw,
Recruiting back then. Yeah.
I wasn't following recruiting back then. So Flo's that dude, man. Flo was that dude. Though I love that we got Avante, but hey, man, and I just love the linebackers. I love the linebacker position, and I think Flo could have been one of the great ones at the University of Miami. So
Yeah, I would have taken Flo too. I mean, Flo is yeah, he's just that dude. He really is that dude.
yeah,
Yeah, Willie Williams was very highly ranked Utah. That's true. But Willie, I wouldn't put Willie's tape at the same level as Flo's. Flo's tape was especially violent, and it's something that I really liked. But yeah, I mean, you can that absolutely make that case that it ended up being a blessing in disguise. What happened this season?
yeah. Martin says he loves Flows, but he's really high on every Huff.
I am too. I am
Yeah,
too, Martin. That Martin, the guy I compared him to is Jesse Armstead. That's who Avery Huff, even his body type is very much like Jesse Armstead. And that's who Avery Huff reminds me of. I think people forgot about him because he was an academic redshirt. So he was out of sight and out of mind. But we started hearing stories of how good he looked at practice. And I'm telling you, that dude's gonna be our starting weak side linebacker. I absolutely believe Avery Huff will be our starting weak side linebacker come
yeah.
week one.
I'm excited for that, man.
And be a ball player and be a baller.
I'm excited for that.
So
All right, you ready to head out of here soon, big dog?
yeah. You want
I
to do
got,
some rapid
I,
fire?
yeah. So take some rapid fire. I got some kids to feed. I got to shower. I got to eat. Arset was a man coming out of Dallas Carter. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Fortunately, he came out of Dallas Carter. For those of you guys that don't know, that was a very infamous high school. Fortunately, Jesse Armstead wasn't involved in it, but many of his teammates were actually part of an armed robbery ring when they were in high school, and that was. I mean, that was in fact, they made a documentary about it, about the Dallas Carter team back then. It was a great team with a lot of talented D1 guys, and among them was Jesse Armstead. He wasn't implicated at all in that issue, but yeah, that was an issue, and Armstead was a grown man. Absolutely right, coming at Dallas Carter. Still remember him playing special teams his first year, and oh my God, was it scary on returners. D. Burnett says people sleeping on Flag. D, I really like Flag, his motor, but he's an overachiever. I mean, he's a guy. He's an overachiever. Um, I wouldn't bet against him just because of how high character of a young man he is. But Tyreek Austin Cave, listen, that's a guy at 210 was running a 55-meter track. So I'm big on him, but I think both of those guys will, if they play, it'll be because of injuries. If not, I think they're both legitimate red shirts. Remember, they're both banged up. Corey Flagg with a knee, and Tyreek Austin Cave with a shoulder. But they're also both expected to be back for summer. But they're both going to miss the spring, and that's going to be a big loss. Them missing the spring.
Yeah. Anthony says, Big Dog, what are your dream pipeline states that you want Miami to build into that are not California, Texas, Georgia? He says his are Hawaii, Utah, Washington, Oregon, Arizona, Colorado.
I'm going to go, Anthony, to just the numbers battle. Louisiana, Ohio, I think are my 1 and 2 states in terms of that I want us to have a big footprint in. Obviously, with Louisiana, we have a good in with Blake Baker.
Roosevelt. The spring game hasn't been announced yet for the exact date.
Yeah, and then the third state would be Pennsylvania. So I think those 3 states outside of that obviously Florida at the top, and then California, Texas, and Georgia are basically fighting for 2, 3, and 4. And then you have a big drop off to 5 being Ohio. Louisiana, I like a lot of their top tier players are really top tier. So I like them even more than Ohio. And then Ohio and Pennsylvania would be the other 2. And definitely for offensive linemen, we need to do that. So he says, Carlos Walker saying, slow down on the hype. Remember the like, I listened, Carlos, 100%. I mean, I don't know what you mean about like slow down on the hype because I need to see it translate to the field because September, because until I see it, I'm not going to believe it, Carlos. So yeah, they're not going to, Tocayo, they're not going to get me again. That's for sure. I'm going to have a wait and see approach in September. And I'm really looking ahead to that Michigan State game. They have to show me something. They have to show me something on the road and do the job against Michigan State.
Orange and Green Blood says, what's your prediction for the defensive rank at the end of the year?
I think we're back in the top 10. I think we're back. I think Manny's going to have a higher, be more involved with the defense. And I think that defense will be top 10. Baltimore game with the donation.
Donation, man. Thank you so much. And this is something that me and the Big Dog have actually argued about in the past when it comes to first rounders. We're not talking potential, Big Dog.
Well, that's the problem. If you're talking about first rounders, you have to talk potential. That's the thing. If you're talking first rounders, you have to talk potential.
Who was it that you thought was? I forgot who was it that you thought. Other than Rousseau, who has a chance of going in the first round on our current roster?
Now we have to go talent. You have to project talent wise.
That's one of the ones I was gonna say. Orange and Green Blood. I think Bubba has a shot.
I think Gervin Hall has a shot.
Gervin Hall has a shot.
Christian Williams developing has a shot.
Jalen Phillips has a shot.
Oh, Jalen Phillips absolutely has a shot. I'd have to see Quincy Roche in coverage because at the pro level, he translates at that size to an outside linebacker, preferably in a 3-4 scheme. But you do have some coverage responsibilities there. So I'd like to see what type of hips he has before I put him there. Listen, I think we have, and again, we're projecting forward their development, which makes it hard. I think
that's tough. Oh, Brevin, 100%.
Brevin, yeah. Brevin, listen, Mallory can still develop, man. They're going to fall in love with that size and speed with Mallory, but he has to show that he's going to be consistent catching the ball. We have some really special D tackles, including Elijah Roberts, who we're getting this. who are very athletic, plus our New York connection in Blissett, Jason Blissett, and Jared Harrison Hunt. I think Jalen Rivers could project down the line.
First rounders, though.
Yeah, dude, you got 6'6" tackle.
No. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. I was just talking to myself.
Again, now I said that, mind you, probably half of those guys are either not going to fulfill their potential or have injury issues. But I do think that those are that type of talented guys. I don't think King will be a first rounder. I do think he'll be a day 2 guy, though, for sure.
What's going on, Primo? Wholesome more in the house.
What do you say, Wholesome?
I'm trying to think, man.
Huff, yeah, absolutely. I hadn't mentioned Huff or Brooks.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. You start to get carried away, man. It's too.
I don't think so, John Paul. Just from that point, is that he's 30, so he's gonna have to show at the combine that he has good enough hips to cover running backs out of the backfield. He projects to be an outside linebacker at the next level.
We could sit here. Key Kane, have a good one, man.
I hadn't talked about the receivers. Michael Redding, absolutely with Michael Redding. Jeremiah,
are you saying absolutely that these guys could be first rounders?
Michael Redding can, absolutely.
This is why we get carried away, dude.
Dude, but that's what we're talking about.
If we just go based on, okay, if they're gonna have the absolute best career that they possibly could have, then yes, they'll be first round.
What they've produced up until now, Gregory Rousseau is the only first rounder.
Yes.
Okay. But then, so you're discounting our
you're literally naming like half of our team could be first rounder.
No, I named maybe not even 20 guys. And I said half of those guys are either not going to reach their potential or they're going to get hurt. I don't know, man. That doesn't mean that they can't develop into being a first rounder because you're still projecting them. In terms of what they've done already, the only one that you said that you can say has a legit claim to being much more than a first rounder, probably a top 10 pick, is Gregory Rousseau. Everybody else has to produce.
Okay. But we're talking about to me. Wait, hold on.
I'll stop the argument right here. In 2001, going your way, Sean Taylor wasn't a first rounder.
Okay.
If that same question was asked to me in 2001, then using your analysis, Sean Taylor wasn't a first rounder.
Okay, fine. Everybody in the Miami Hurricanes roster could be a first rounder.
Oh, but that's my point.
That's basically exactly what it is, dude.
To project out of the players.
I'm talking about uber talented guys that we have, that have the best shot to reach their potential.
I didn't name a whole bunch of guys who already have body of work that have proven they're not first rounders. Mike Harley is not a first rounder, not going to be a first rounder. Okay. Mark Pope and D. Wiggins, what they've done up until now are not first.
People that thought that Jeff Thomas was going to be a first rounder.
And if Jeff Thomas didn't have the off the field issues or on the field issues with coaching staffs, Jeff Thomas could have very well had that type of talent. That's my point. So you're going to have guys that are that talented, okay, but they either don't reach their potential or they have injury issues.
Okay, but I think it's a much smaller. When I think about the potential for a guy to be a first rounder, he needs to be. Huh?
It's not a much smaller group.
It is, man.
We haven't developed players. Jonathan Garvin would have been a first rounder. He couldn't. He got outplayed badly by a redshirt freshman.
I never had Jonathan Garvin as a first rounder.
No. Okay, if not, he was a second rounder, but he still played his way out of that position by what he did his last year.
Okay, you need to be uber talented. Okay,
that's my point. You need to be uber talented and productive.
Yes.
So there's a bunch of guys that are talented but haven't had the opportunity to produce as of yet. There's been guys who've actually had the opportunity but have proven that they're not first-round talents.
No, yeah, I guess.
That's my point.
So you think Michael Redding has a chance to be a first-rounder?
Again, we're projecting forward a true freshman who hasn't even played a down of spring ball yet. and he's not even going to play spring ball.
All right.
But in terms of that type of talent, that's what we're projecting. Right now, Jalen Phillips has not proven he's a first rounder. Do you have any doubt in your mind if Jalen Phillips plays up to his potential, he's a top 5 pick?
I'm thinking about the chances that he will be a first rounder. You cannot compare Jalen Phillips, the talent that he has at his position, to Marcus Clark and the talent that he has at his position. That's the point I'm trying to make.
And I don't think I named Marcus Clark as a first rounder. Did
Redding. I'm sorry.
Okay, Michael Redding is 6'1". He's already at 195. He's built like a freaking freight train as a true freshman, and he runs a 4.540, a sub 4.540. Okay. What does that project to as a senior or as a junior? It projects to maybe being at 200, 205 pounds and running a 4.4.
Great. The right way for it to be first rounders.
When you're talking about our 2001 team had 17 first round draft picks. A bunch of those weren't starting in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Taylor was among those.
No, I agree. I think
Winslow wasn't the starter in 2001.
I think at least half the team. I think at least half the team is going to go in the first round.
That's not what I said either.
No,
I asked you which talents.
Yeah. Patchen could have been a first rounder.
He absolutely couldn't have been. There's no way he could have been a first rounder. But that's my point. If you're asking me right now who has proven to be a first rounder, it's Greg Rousseau and nobody else.
Okay, fine. Look, Chuck Mobeer, from the juniors and the seniors that we have on the current roster, who's going to be your first rounder?
That's my point. Those guys, there's many that have played that have proven they're not first rounders.
That's my point.
Mike Carling has proven he's not a first rounder.
The majority.
He proved he wasn't a first rounder.
Trajan Bandy was never going to be a first rounder.
Trajan Bandy. Jonathan Garvin, absolutely people thought he could be a first rounder.
I never thought Garvin was going to be a first rounder.
There was a lot of scouts that were looking at Garvin. If Garvin would have had the type of season that Rousseau had, he would absolutely go in the first round.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
What's up, Stunner Boy?
So you're projecting players forward. Like I said, in 2001, Sean Taylor was a backup. He hadn't accomplished anything.
Outlier, big dog.
What's that?
An outlier.
Dude, they had a bunch of those outliers. Vince Wilfork wasn't a starter. And that's a future Hall of Famer. Yeah, Frank Gore wasn't a starter. That's a future Hall of Famer. That's my point.
I don't know. Okay, I guess. All right.
Frank Gore was our third string running back. What had he done in college to prove that he was going to be the third leading rusher in the history of football?
Dude, okay.
He hadn't proven anything yet.
Okay, but how many players have come through this university that we thought could be potential first rounders and it didn't work out?
And that happens at every university.
It happens a lot more in Miami. You're gonna tell me Miami, the Hurricanes, and
a lot more in other places too. It happened at Florida State. It happened at USC.
Not as much as Miami.
Absolutely, it has. USC has as many 5-stars on their roster as Clemson. And look at their performances the last couple of years.
But the Canes, for the past however many years, especially kids in South Florida, man, I think have the best potential to be first rounders compared to anybody else in the country.
And they haven't been developed. That's why the question was, which potential first rounders other than Rousseau do you see on the roster? So I have to project forward just the ones that have talent.
And my question, my answer
is, I don't know which of those players is going to tear an ACL. I don't know.
No, we're not talking about injuries. We're not talking about injuries, big dog. A lot of players can have all the potential in the world, but until you see it in action, you cannot tell me that this guy can be a first rounder.
I'll give you a perfect example of this. We saw Gerald Willis play his last year at Miami, and he was as good of a D tackle as there was in the country, and ended up not getting drafted.
Okay.
Why?
because of off the field issues.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's my point. Is what I'm projecting forward is only who has that prerequisite of that type of ability. Now, in terms of proving it on the field, thus far, the only one that you can say is a slam dunk first rounder is Greg Rousseau. Because starting in weeks in game number 6 last year, he ended the season with almost 14 and a half sacks. What was the final total? Because I heard one play had 15 and a half.
Yeah, 15.
Okay, a guy who didn't start until game 6. So as of right now, the only one that you could say slam dunk is going in the first round for sure is Greg Rousseau. He's the only one that proved it.
A lot of things.
In terms of talent, we talked about it. You saw it at times with Jaron Williams. Does he not have elite level ability? Doesn't have the intangibles. Is that would we have known that unless we saw him?
No.
Exactly. Okay, that's the things. Now, Michael Redding could end up being a Brian Hightower that ends up transferring because we don't use him right and all these things, or ends up, I'm not saying he is because he seems to be a great kid, a great young man and stuff, but he could end up being a Jeff Thomas.
All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying because I've heard.
All I can project is talent.
Right, but I've heard for so many years. Okay, this kid has potential first round talent. This kid has potential first round talent. That I'm off that boat already. Like I see it on the field. I'm not trying to talk about what.
Look at FSU's roster.
What about FSU?
Look how many talented guys they still have on that roster.
Okay,
but they haven't played themselves into a first round position because they've underperformed. But they have talent to be a first rounder if they put it together.
In my opinion, I think most players underperform compared to their expectations because they get so caught up in the star ranking system.
I'll give you an example. Okay, we can talk about
a 4-star or a 5-star. Does not mean he's going to be an automatic first-round pick.
One of my favorites in this class. Is Javier Restrepo.
Yes.
Okay. Javier does not translate to a first-round draft pick in the NFL, no matter how productive he is.
Okay. Right.
Because he doesn't tick all those boxes that they want ticked.
Mm-hmm.
He's not 6'4". He doesn't run a 4.4 40. He doesn't, look at DK Metcalf, who's an absolute, freak of nature of a human being, and he went in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, DK Metcalf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who literally looks like a superhero.
Yeah, he does.
Went in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying is I'm trying to project forward who has that level of ability. Somebody was talking in the chat about Corey Flagg. Corey Flagg, no matter what type of career he has in college, will not be a first-round draft pick in the NFL. Because he's not even 6 foot tall.
No, because we're talking about measurables. We're talking about size. Yes, okay.
I'm going to go down our roster and see guys who have the measurables and the talent to get that type of attention from the NFL. And I said this, that the
first round talent,
the group of players that I gave, half of them are either going to underperform or get injured.
First round talent is different, big dog. First round talent is different. We're not, huh?
You're going to tell me Jalen Phillips doesn't have first round talent?
One of the first things I said with Jalen Phillips is a potential first rounder because I think that he has that talent.
Okay, you're going to tell me
talented. How many uber talented guys do we have on our roster right now?
That's my point. That's what I was trying to pick out.
How many of them do we have?
Okay, we have players like a Don Chaney, who's been a number 1 running back in South Florida in 8th grade.
And I would agree with you. But when you start
Irvin Hall, who Nick Saban landed his helicopter on his practice field.
That does not make him. That does not, just because Nick Saban landed his helicopter to freaking get Gervin Hall does not automatically say, oh, he's for sure going to be a first rounder.
He has that. I didn't say for sure. There is no for sure. Greg Rousseau isn't a for sure.
What did you see from Gervin Hall last year that makes you think that Gervin Hall could be a first round pick?
He has that level of ability. He didn't play up to it last year.
That's my. But big dog, this is what I'm trying. This
That
is what
was
I'm trying
also
to say.
his first year in college football getting substantial playing time.
Okay,
That's my point.
guys
So
that are more times than not that are sure first round talents.
that's not true. What you're going to say is not true. They don't show it necessarily from the beginning. Joe Burrow's the number one pick in the draft, and before this year, he wouldn't have gotten drafted.
Okay, I'm not saying they're not exceptions to the rule, big dog. But
That's
I'm just saying us as a university and players that we've had come through this program year after year, we've always said the same crap. We've
we have,
always said the same thing.
and it's been proven because
And
if
it's
we
been proven that almost most of them have been bust.
hold
They've
on,
been bust, big dog. They have not been first round draft picks.
that's not true because we're still the number
I'm talking first round draft picks. I'm only talking about first round draft picks.
first
How
round
many
draft.
guys
Hold on,
came in?
first
How
round
many
draft picks
guys came into this program?
also have a lot to do with what type of success you have in college.
100%. That's what I'm trying to say.
But not just the player individually, the team also.
Yes,
because when Miami was at his best, we also had guys drafted in the first round that they weren't bust, but they were first rounders because they played at Miami.
Okay, but you also have guys like Gregory Rousseau that even if you go 6 and 7,
Correct.
you know they're going to be a first rounder.
Correct. But and he's not even just a first rounder; he's a legit top 5 type of talent.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%.
Okay,
I just get frustrated, big dog, when I hear the talk of so many players that have come to this university being quote unquote first round talents, and in my opinion, the majority of them have not gone to be first round players.
At every university.
It does not happen as much as it happens at Miami.
Because also Miami gets a lot of top tier talent from South
Florida. That's my point, big dog. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, USC gets it from LA, and they got the
not
same.
as much as Miami, big dog.
Junior, they have USC had 12 5-stars from 2015 to 2019, the same number that Clemson has. 12 5-stars. They had 54 4-stars.
Okay, but don't try to put don't try to put no wait a second. No, remember stars don't matter. Stars don't matter.
I'm telling you about talent wise.
He has said at Miami players that commit to Miami. No, I'm saying players that have commit in Miami have gotten lower stars and they get dropped. So let's not say how many guys. Don Chaney's not a 5-star.
Can I finish my point? I agree, Don Chaney should have been a 5-star.
So why did Don Chaney go to a 4-star?
If USC had 12 5-stars, the same amount of 5-stars on their roster as that Clemson has, and 10 more 4-stars than Clemson, how come USC went 5 and 7 in 2018, and they struggled again last year? Because those players didn't pan out.
Well, no, yeah.
So they have talent, but they didn't pan out.
Yes,
that's my point.
But throughout the years, I'm talking about a much larger sample size, dude.
It happens everywhere.
It doesn't happen everywhere. I just feel like there's this.
Hold on, it happens everywhere. It might happen more at Miami because we have not had top shelf coaching in a lot of years at Miami.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so it does happen more. We had Sam Shields, who has had a tremendous NFL career. Okay, leave Miami and say when he gets to the league that the first time he ever broke down game film was in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
In college, he didn't break down game film.
Right.
Do you think maybe those players underachieved because of lack of coaching?
I'm not saying that.
Okay, so all you can do is project who has that level of ability. Now, whether they end up being a first rounder or not remains to be seen. They have to produce. They have to keep their nose clean. They can't have major injuries. There's a lot of things that could go wrong.
Right.
They can't have issues with grades. They can't have issues with domestic violence. They can't. I mean, listen, man. Real world isn't a video game. Real world has real world things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And players get injured. Players get in trouble. Players, lose interest. There's a bunch of different things that can happen, man. Okay, but that doesn't mean that when you look at a D tackle, that at the age of 19, okay, and I'm giving you an example. of Jared Harrison Hunt, who's 6'4", 290.
Future first rounder.
Hold on. Okay, 6'4", 290, or at that time he was 280. Dunking a basketball from the wing over somebody doesn't have
future first rounder. That's it. He's gonna be a first rounder. He's gonna be a first rounder. That's it.
That's the difference between production and potential. When you're talking about future first rounder, okay, then according to you, Sean Taylor was nowhere near a first rounder.
Why you keep on bringing Sean T up?
Because in 2001 he hadn't done anything in college football because he had a guy named Ed Reed playing in front of him.
Okay, who do we have a situation like that? Do we have an Ed Reed on our roster right now?
Dude, that's the thing. Do you think everybody knew Ed Reed was going to be Ed Reed from his freshman year?
Of course not. Of course not. Of course not.
Okay, because Ed Reed, they didn't even have stars back then, but he wasn't recruited by nobody. Okay, do you think anybody looked at Ed Reed and said, "Oh, he's a surefire Hall of Famer, surefire the best safety that ever played the game"? No, all you can do is project forward. I think this guy is going to be very, very good. Now let's see if he makes it there. You get a guy like Ed Reed, he exceeds where people thought.
I just think we got to be careful when we throw around the first round ability.
Let's talk about it. A D tackle like Jared Harrison Hunt at 6'4", 280 dunks over a guy from the wing. Okay, runs the fast break playing basketball, and he plays D tackle. You don't think he has the measurables to be a stud defensive tackle?
And I guarantee you there are many guys.
You think there's a lot of guys around that are 6'4", 290 that can dunk 6 feet.
Not a lot, but I'm saying like there are people probably, just as athletic that didn't go to school or whatever does not make them, hey, dude, you could be you can make it to the first round of the NFL.
That guy applied himself and got the proper coaching. He absolutely could.
Hey, big dog, what I'm trying to no, you guys are funny. Hey, me and the big dog have had this argument before, so I don't want you guys to think that this gets personal between me and the big dog. I actually like arguing.
Go ahead.
John Paul said, "Why be careful? Just a combo." Even though big dog gets mad at me, but
no, because you're at a different point than what I'm saying to you.
I know you don't like it when you're wrong, big dog. I know that's all it is, man.
All you can do is project forward. So his question was, other than Rousseau, looking at the talent on a roster, who else do I see that could be a potential first round draft pick? So I have to go by talent. If I went by already proved it, the only one that's already proved it is Gregory Rousseau. Nobody else has proved it.
Okay, big dog, but you can't. Somebody just came in from the 2020 class. You can't be like, oh yeah, he has a potential to be a first rounder.
Because
you need a sample size. It's all I'm trying to say.
That's my point. You don't need a sample size because as it is, you're projecting forward.
I disagree.
What do you think the sample size is going to be? So you think of the 80 players on scholarship that Miami has, we have one first rounder, and that's it. None of these other players are going to be first rounders.
I never said that.
No, that's what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying if somebody tells me who's going to be your first rounder on his team, I could tell you, well, Rousseau, has shown that he definitely could be.
If Rousseau was able to go out right now, he'd be a first rounder.
He'll be a first rounder. Now, after that, I need to see a sample size in college football for me to be able to say
that wasn't what the question was. The question was, looking at the talent on a roster, who else do you think could be a first rounder? So we're talking about future potential.
I can't answer, but I can't answer.
What I'm answering is the guys that have that level of ability. Now, if the question would have been, who for sure would you be willing to bet your life would be a first rounder?
It's a much shorter list than your list for me.
It's not, but it's not. Because I am taking out the players that I know for a fact won't be first rounders. And I've already shown that.
Okay, fine.
I've already shown that.
But okay, all right. I feel like we're just gonna keep on going around in circles with this argument because I just don't I don't like holding my faith on guys that could potentially be
what is recruiting?
first
What is
rounders.
recruiting?
Huh?
What is recruiting exactly? What is draft? What is the NFL draft? What are they doing?
What do you mean they're acquiring talent
Oh, and what are they basing it on?
on production in college football?
No, they're not hiring for production in college football. They're hiring them for production in the NFL.
Yes, but
Okay,
they're not.
you want me to show you the list? You want me to show you the list of people who were awesome in college that busted in the NFL?
I know it's a lot, big dog, but the NFL is not going to draft Jeff Thomas because he's fast as heck and he could run patterns.
Jeff Thomas was fast as heck, would have kept his nose clean, and would have
produced and would have
caught 70 balls a year for 3 years. He would have been drafted in the first round.
Yes.
Because he has the first round talent. If Javier Restrepo has 4 years of the same amount of production, he will not get drafted in the first round. Ever.
Yes, I agree with that.
Corey Flagg starts from his first year and gets 150, breaks Dan Morgan's record in tackles, will still not get drafted in the first round.
Big dog. Big dog. Yes, I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. My point is that
Chuck Mobile with another donation. Thank you. He says, have a café con leche, un churro, take it easy. Thank you, Chuck Mobile.
Oh, yeah. No, JT got to the combine because of what Big Dog is saying. Guys, I'm not saying, okay.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying I have a different
because if you
feel comfortable saying that this guy has a potential to be
Jeff Thomas, if you watch Jeff Thomas go through a workout, you go, holy shit, that guy can play ball.
Yes, but I'm not saying holy shit.
Now
rounder. I'll say, damn. If everything goes right for this kid, if he system, then he could be a first rounder.
No. That's my point. That's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that if the guy has the talent to produce and be a first rounder, then that's a guy that I put as a possible first rounder. But there's a bunch of players that have already disqualified themselves from being a first rounder. A first rounder takes
because they don't have the talent, man.
That's my point.
Okay.
So what I'm basing it on is talent and potential of talent. That's what I'm basing it on. And I said it when I said my list. I said half these guys won't be it because of injuries or because of they don't ever reach their production level. They don't even reach their talent. Okay, you just said it yourself. Okay, if I asked you, is Justin Flo a first round talent? Is Jalen Phillips a first round talent?
Yes.
Well, what have they done in college?
Big dog, the list is short. The list is short. You're throwing Marcus Clark already in for a first round pick for the Canes.
Exactly, and you're throwing Jalen Phillips is not a first round talent.
Huh?
You're willing to say Jalen Phillips is not a first round talent?
Big dog, how many times I gotta keep on repeating myself? I said Jalen Phillips is a first round talent. Yes.
What has he done in college? 4.5 sacks total.
Nothing.
So how's he a first round talent?
Because he's uber talented.
Okay, so uber talented is the first 5 picks of the draft.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
I'm telling you, uber talented is the first 5 picks of the NFL draft.
Uber talented coming out of high school is getting drafted in the first round.
What's that?
For me.
No. Uber talented is the guys that are uber talented in the NFL that go to the NFL with that label of can't miss. Those guys go in the top 5, top 10 at most.
Yes, but there are guys.
Miami drafted 13th last year.
There are guys that are coming out of high school that are so supremely talented that even if they don't put it together in college, they're still going to be a first round draft pick.
No, that never happens.
Come on, big dog.
Never happens.
Big dog. There are players. There are players that are supremely talented that could be a number 1 pick or a top 5 pick in the NFL draft.
Okay, tell me a player that looks better physically than DK Metcalf. I'll wait.
I don't. No, I haven't seen one in a very long time.
6'4", 225 pounds of muscle. Ripped, has muscles on his eyebrows.
Yeah, he does.
4'3", 340.
He does.
Where did he go in the draft?
Nah, I forgot what round he went in.
Second round, late second round.
Okay.
Okay, is he a first round talent? You gonna tell me DK Metcalf wasn't a first round talent?
I didn't really follow Metcalf in college, so I don't know.
Produced okay. He produced well. He didn't produce as well as he looks, but he produced okay. And the kid's gonna be a monster in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if I looked at that kid, I would have said that's a first round talent. 4.33 40, 6'4", 6'3". I think at the combine he's listed as 6'4", but he's actually
Okay.
at the combine they measured him as 6'3", 220.
Okay.
He built like an absolute superhero.
Do you think that Justin Flo, let's say in 3 years, or let's just say in 3 years, because he's 3-4 years, whatever it is. I don't think that Justin Flo needs to be the best linebacker in college football.
If he does not play well in college, if he does not play at a very
if he plays really good with his measurables, he's still going to be a first round talent.
That's not the way it works anymore, especially anymore. That's not the way it ever worked, but that's not the way it works anymore, especially because Gerald Willis was as good of a D tackle as there was in college football in 2018. As good of a D tackle as there was in college football. The numbers back it up. The tape backs it up. Yes, he does play high, and yes, he does get pushed back at times because of how high he carries his pads. But the dude was a playmaker, second to none in college football. In 2018, didn't get drafted because of all the field issues.
Yeah, and you don't
He
think
the measurables. He has all the measurables.
You don't think that has something to do with the fact that it was just 1 year?
But it was 1 year because of the problems that he had.
Right.
Of all the offseason issues of off the field.
The NFL would like to also see a larger sample size because there are plenty of guys that have character issues and off the field issues.
To your point, if Justin Flo at Oregon plays okay, where he's not even all Big Ten, where he's
obviously
that's so the measurables are not the only thing then.
I'm not saying they're the only thing, but
right now he hasn't proven he's a first rounder.
No.
But anybody that sees Justin Flo says that's first round NFL talent. That's what a 5-star is.
Mm-hmm.
A 5-star is plug and play, can help right away, can play at a Power 5 level right away, and projects as a future NFL first round draft pick.
I don't know.
So what do you base that on coming out of high school?
I just look at
tall enough? Are they big enough? Are they do they tick all the boxes? That's what a legit first rounder is. Now they have to produce at that level. And then let me ask you a question. If I asked you last year, is Greg Rousseau a first rounder? Would you have said no?
I wouldn't have said either way, yes or no.
Would I have said no? Would I have said no?
No, you would have said yes. That he could be a first rounder.
What has he proven?
That he's a first rounder.
There you go.
Okay,
that's my point. Okay. But last year he hadn't proven it yet.
Okay, but if somebody asks me, okay, based on just the class coming in, based on measurables, based on whatever, do you think this guy could be a first rounder? I cannot tell you yes or no.
That's exactly what my point was. That the question was, other than Rousseau, looking at our entire roster, who else do you see that could be a first round talent?
And I don't know, big dog.
That's my point. I'm going through my mental Rolodex and excluding those that no matter what will not be a first round talent. And I started giving you examples of who will not be a first round talent.
I've seen so many guys that are supposed to be quote unquote first round talents, and the majority of them just never panned out. So I just hate throwing out that
that happens in the NFL also. That happens in the NFL also. Marcus Russell was the first pick in the entire draft. Ryan Leaf was the second pick in the entire draft.
I get that. I get all that. My point is that I just need to see a sample size before I could say that I think the guy could be a first rounder or not.
No, once
Unless I see a players like,
you get the sample size, everybody knows it.
huh?
Everybody knows it. Nobody's going to argue with me that Greg Rousseau's a first rounder this year.
Of course, because of the production.
Okay, if I would have argued it last year, is he any less talented?
If we're not talking about the
Is he
guy,
any less talented?
huh?
Was he any less talented last year than he was this year?
Was he? I don't know if he was any
Okay,
less. Big Dog, we never saw him play.
Wasn't, because you know the reason why I was railing against the star system. I used Rousseau as an example. I saw tape of Rousseau in high school and said that's Javon Curse.
No, I don't think it has.
In our preseason show, I said that's Javon Curse 2.0. And what did people say? Not everybody. A lot of people were fine with the comment. It was, that's a lofty comparison. Now nobody's saying that's a lofty comparison after the dude starts 7 games and gets 15.5 sacks.
Big Dog, that's one out of how many that we said were going to be first rounders and they never became first rounders.
And what did I say when I gave my list? I said at least half of those will not be first rounders because they won't live up to their potential, or because they'll have injuries or some other off-field issue derail them.
Okay. All right.
That's my point.
All right.
If somebody was asking, do I see De'Aaron King being a first rounder? Okay, chances are no, I don't. Now, could he have a monster season, Heisman worthy season at Miami, and play his way into the first round? Yes, he can.
If he has another 2018 season at Miami, he'll be a first.
Absolutely could be a first rounder. Okay, but if I have to project him forward, he's not the ideal size. He's not the ideal thrower. He's not, now if he has another 2018 season at Miami and leads Miami to a New Year's Six Bowl and leads Miami to a great season and completes 70% of his passes and tears it up, he could absolutely play his way into the first round.
I agree with that.
But yeah. I didn't put him there because all kinds of things have to go right for him to be a first round talent.
Okay.
Greg Rousseau, that's not the case. Jalen Phillips.
How many high 4 stars and 5 stars are in every single recruiting cycle?
Quite a few.
Hundreds.
Yeah, if you be 5 stars and 4 stars, has a couple hundred.
For sure.
So more than that, probably about 300 4 stars.
So every single one of those
40, 35, 30 5 stars.
So every single one of those players are potential first rounders.
Those are players that have the possibility to be first round picks because they have the.
I'm not on board with that.
But that's my point. It doesn't mean that you're going to end up in the first round.
I'm not saying that they're going to end up there.
Have first round talent.
All right.
That's all it means. They have the ability to get there. Now, whether they get there or not, a lot of things have to happen. They have to produce in college. They have to stay relatively injury free. Because nowadays it's different than it used to be, man. It's different. You used to have people roll the dice on a Tua. Nowadays it's maybe the Dolphins draft him at 5. Maybe he slides. Now he's already showing the CAT scan results of his hip that it looks good. He's already trying to say, hey, don't forget about me. I'm gonna be okay. Okay, because nowadays you don't have those gambles that you used to have. Okay, what did I tell you? The conversation that we had with Jesus about that when they drafted the 49ers drafted Deebo Samuel, went, man, DK Metcalf is still out there.
Yeah.
Okay, because you look at DK Metcalf, that's like, is that dude human?
Yeah.
He still went late in the second round, but that's a first round talent to me. And I think he's going to prove to be a first rounder by his production because he's a quality dude off the field too. But if you look at Jalen Rivers, okay, if I say to you, and Jalen Rivers is a good example.
Okay,
hold on. 6'6", long arms, really athletic for the size, 330. Okay, could you see a guy like that, a tackle like that, going in the first round of the NFL draft?
Yes.
Really smart too.
Yes.
Okay, does that mean that he's already proven to be a first rounder?
No.
But could Jalen Rivers grow to be a first rounder?
All right,
Absolutely.
I gotta get out of here. I'm just gonna summarize with this and my final point. When I think about potential first rounders, I'm looking at guys that are, I mean, just uber talented. When you look at their tape, you look at their measurables, because the chances that those guys are going to be first rounders, they don't need, like, you take somebody like Flo. Let's just take somebody like Flo, for example. Okay. And put in, let's compare every Huff to Flo.
Right. Okay.
Even though every Huff is more of an outside linebacker.
Right. Weak side linebacker
Um,
to a Will instead of a Mike.
Right, but the point I'm trying to make is that I can tell you with a lot more confidence that Justin Flo is going to be our first rounder, because he doesn't need to overachieve the way a player of a little lesser talent does in order to be a first rounder.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
He's somebody.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. In high school, Justin Flo would look like a monster. What school did he play for? In Cali?
Okay, yes, I'm not saying. Okay, he didn't play in South
school
Florida.
did
He didn't
Avery
play
Huff
in
play
South
for?
Florida. I know. What you're trying to
South
say.
Florida, not just in South Florida. What school did Avery Huff play for?
Big dog.
St.
Listen.
Thomas Aquinas.
Listen. This is just me trying to explain my position on this, man. I look at the chances of somebody with Justin Flo's talent level, with Justin Flo's measurables, like for example, somebody that runs a 4.3, 6.2, or 6.1, whatever, 215 pounds. Okay. They could catch 50 balls, 500 yards, 6, 7 touchdowns. They're still going to be a first rounder because of their measurables.
Really? DK Metcalf went in the second.
Okay, big dog, you keep on just giving me just one guy.
AJ Brown also went in the second.
No, listen to me.
Deebo Samuel also went in the second.
That guy runs a 4.3. DK Metcalf doesn't run a 4.3.
DK Metcalf runs a 4.3.
No, he doesn't.
AJ Brown doesn't. Or Deebo Samuel doesn't. DK Metcalf ran a 4.33.
No, he didn't.
DK Metcalf ran a 4.33 laser time at the combine.
He ran a 4.33?
4.33.
How the hell did he go in the first round then?
There you go. That's my point. And
Okay.
he was okay. He did not play.
Okay, he should have gone in the first round.
I agree.
Okay, he should have gone in the first round. But that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. Somebody that doesn't have those measurables, somebody that could be a first rounder needs to have a lot better stats and a lot like how can I say this in the easiest way? A lot more production than somebody that is uber talented and doesn't have the same amount of production. So I could look at somebody like Flo and tell you, listen, I think you tell me that guy is going to be a first rounder. He's going to be a first rounder. Now you ask me, is Avery Huff going to be a first rounder? I don't know.
He has the talent to. Now we'll see what happens.
Right, but he needs to. If you put Avery Huff, same production as Justin Flo goes in the first rounder. Avery Huff doesn't. I mean, no, I said let's just assuming that they don't have a spectacular season. Assuming that they're not one of the best linebackers in the country. That's the point I'm trying to make.
That's a lot more variable. That's a lot more variable than you're making it out to be. Because number one, Mike linebackers are not valued the way they used to be. Okay, a Mike linebacker used to be valued as one of the most important positions. Nowadays, you're looking at QB and pass rushers are always going to go higher than everybody else. And then the guys that could cover receivers are like right behind them. It's for a middle linebacker to go really high in the draft, it has to be a position of need.
I'm bringing up the linebackers just to whatever. That's a comparison, but you could do it with any position groups. If a guy has supreme measurables, okay, over another guy doesn't have the same measurables, and they have the same season.
Oh, absolutely. The guy with his
Better measure. Okay, so that's the only that's my
well,
only point.
but you also have, like, again, you have the other point is the guy like John Shields is bringing up of DK Metcalf and the makeup issues. Okay, but John, the thing is,
Oh,
I
Metcalf
don't
4-3.
recall that. Yeah, Metcalf ran a 4.33.
So,
Yeah, I think 4.33 or 4.34.
well, regardless,
Yeah, it was one or the other. I think it was 4.33.
go in the first round. He was
Well,
supposed to go in the first round, though.
that there was some questions about character concerns, and Russell Wilson said he's the smartest and hardest working rookie receiver he's ever seen. Because that when they meet, when Russell Wilson meets with the receivers, DK Metcalf takes down copious notes and memorizes them.
Yeah.
So then people said, well, does DK have off the field issues?
Yeah.
No, not really. Did he have major injuries? He got nicked up in college some. But at the end of the day, he's still 6'3", 225 chiseled with a 4.33 40.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's my point. So what I was doing,
you win.
No, I was just going up and down the roster trying to find guys that have that level of ability.
First rounders, big though.
But they have that level of ability. Now, whether they reach it or not, a lot remains. Development.
More likely than not, they will not be a first round pick.
Well, I think everybody is more likely than not. There's only 32 of those every year.
Well, obviously. No, but I'm saying, like,
30 universities in college football, and there's only 32.
Oh, big dog.
Division one college football. Because you have other divisions.
I don't like throwing that first round.
That's my point. But that was what the question was. Who else has that level of ability?
You like arguing me anyway, man. Gosh.
You're the one that started the argument.
Expensive, man. Hey, chat, man.
Yeah, it is. It's about whatever it is. What 400 total 4 stars that they have, because they have like 3. They have like 35, usually 30, 35 5 stars.
I can't believe we had this many people stick through this argument.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
No, we got 90. We had 100 something, but that's still a lot of people that stuck around, even though me and you are going in circles and went back and forth.
I think people like our arguments for some reason.
I don't know. I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I don't know. I'm
2 middle linebackers in the top.
Frustrated with so many
top 10 last year.
That don't.
One was 4.5. I think Dreadlock. You're talking about 4.5 speed, or you talking about the where they were picked? Orange and Green Blood says better than Jerry Springer. And also says they love what we do.
So you guys heard it from Big Dog himself, man. At least half of this team is going to go in the first round.
I didn't even name 15 names.
Go.
I didn't even name 15 names. I threw out there like 15 names
with the natty. All right. The Big Dog said almost everybody on this roster is a first round pick.
Chuck Boobier says if I'm part Pitbull. There you go. Yeah, D said that Tom Brady 7.2 cone, 4.38 shuttle. DK Metcalf 7.38 cone, 4.5 shuttle. Yeah, DK is definitely not a slot guy. He's definitely not a slot guy. But look at DK also had a 40-inch vert and a 4.33 40. So listen, that's something that's going to be special.
Yeah,
but he has the long speed.
Hey, Big Dog, I'm excited, man. Listen, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think we're
Pittsburgh. You were talking about the position of the draft. No. Listen, I'm not saying they never get drafted, but middle linebackers used to have a much more important role in professional football than they did. I mean, you think about so many of the legendary players were middle linebackers, and now you're not seeing as much of an emphasis on middle linebackers in the draft. You know, you're seeing. I mean, I'm not saying they still go first round. They just tend to go a little bit later. The NFL has become, if you want more proof of it, Dreadlock, look at the salary structure of the NFL. The quarterback is the highest paid position. What's the highest paid position after quarterback?
Pass rusher.
You look at pass rushers, offensive tackles that can stop those pass rushers, cornerbacks, and wide receivers. Then comes, you could be the best guard in football, and you're not going to be anywhere near the highest paid guy in your team. You could be the best middle linebacker in football, and you're not going to be the highest paid player on your defense. That's just the nature of the beast of what they're looking for in the NFL these days. Yeah, D says that DK had a serious injury in college on his neck that broke his neck in college. The thing is, but again, we go back to what we were talking about with talent. If you look at those measurables, there's no way DK Metcalf isn't a first-round talent.
That's crazy.
So
I completely forgot, or I just didn't remember that he ran a 4.3.
Yeah, that dude is.
That shouldn't be humanly impossible. You could be that big and run a 4.3. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. And that dude, you see him without a shirt, man. It looks like it's not real. It looks like it's CGI or something. It's Metcalf is a freak of nature.
Hey guys, for those of you that stuck around for this pointless argument, kind of, thank you for sticking around, and thank you for all of you that have stuck with us for 2 hours and 40 minutes, man, and for your support as always, man. If you guys are new here and you want to see me and the big dog have a lot me and the big dog never argue, so when we do argue, I just, it's not really argue, it's just passionate conversation, whatever. If you guys enjoy, man, subscribe, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you get notified anytime me and the big dog do upload a video, man. It was real. I'll go ahead and take the L on this one, I guess, for this discussion, because I think Big Dog just has.
I'm not taking the L, man. It's not that. I was explaining.
I was just being humble because technically you took the L. So, but I was just trying to be humble.
Okay, I'll take the L.
All right. No, I'm just kidding, man. But
man, it's and a lot of it, like I said, there's a lot of variables, man, that go into stuff like that. So what I try to throw out is just who has that talent. Now, whether they reach it or not, a lot of things have to break right, if you don't reach it, a lot of things had to break wrong. So
yeah, you know what I think it is. I think it's just I just get so frustrated, and I think that this is the reason why I'm a little passionate about it, and the reason why I get a little worked up about the whole first round thing, because I've seen so many guys coming through this university that have had that potential and just haven't lived up to it, man. So then when people start throwing around that, oh, you think this guy could be a first rounder or this guy could be a first rounder, I'm just like, I don't freaking know, man. We'll see. That's basically where I'm at with it, because I've just seen so much talent, man, being for lack of development or off the field issues or whatever it is, it hasn't worked out, and it hasn't been put together here at the University of Miami, and that's the reason why I get frustrated, man. Like, I understand what you're saying, Big Dog. I know projections, and it's based on potential, and yes, you could point to a lot of players that have the potential to go in the first round. It's like it's one of my pet peeves, man, just because I've seen so many players come through this university that have had that quote unquote potential to be a first round pick, and they haven't, or they didn't live up to it for some reason, man. So that's why I'm like, I sit back and watch and just be like, if you would have asked me, if the question would have been phrased, who do you think has first round talent?
That's what I thought the question was.
No, but that's not what I took the question as. I took the question as, who do you think is going to be a first rounder?
Well, the way I took it is, he said, other than Rousseau, looking at a roster, who else has first round talent?
Oh, I didn't.
And correct whoever asked the question. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the way I remember the question being.
See, I didn't see the talent part. If it's the talent part, I could agree that there's a lot of players on our roster currently that have first round talent.
That's what I took it as the question being.
But if you tell me, who do I think is going to be the first rounder?
As of right now, the only one that's proven it is Greg Rousseau.
Well, that's my point. That's what this conversation and this argument, that's the reason why I got like that. Because if you asking me who do I think is going to be a first rounder, then it's much different than somebody asking me, who do you think has first round talent? Then I'm on board with you 100%, man. But like I said, man, it's just one of my pet peeves, because I just hate that I've seen so much first round talent not going the first round for whatever reason. So,
I'll give you a exactly, and that's a good way to put it. Also, is
right. I'm on there.
First round talent is first round grade. First round pick is a first round production and a first round grade. So
right.
that's
I'm on that. Yeah.
Right. Right. And here's a good way.
I don't think the question. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. For those of you that originally saw the question, I'm pretty sure it wasn't. We're glad you misunderstood, Julie. So I did misunderstand that. So it wasn't about
it was YouTube gold. That it was good. That our conversation, our argument was YouTube gold.
So I guess it wasn't about first round talent. I don't freaking know anymore. Whatever, man.
I mean, that's the way I understood the question.
Is what it is.
No, here's a perfect example. I wish I would have thought of. Okay, if I would have said to you before the beginning of last season,
what up, Rich? What up, Logan?
Before the beginning of last season, you could only have one safety. Who do you want, Gervin Hall or Bubba Bolden?
Before the beginning of last season, right. I was high on Bubba, big dog.
We both were high. Oh, thank you, Logan. Logan with the donations. Love you all. Thank you, Logan. But most people would have taken Gervin.
Yeah, but I would have said Bubba though.
I like Bubba quite a bit too. Okay, but most people would have taken Gervin.
Okay.
Now we've seen a whole year of Gervin. Okay, and we saw a few games of Bubba. But that few games of Bubba, he graded out higher than Gervin did.
No, yeah, 100%.
Now those same people that say, "Oh, I would have picked Gervin,"
no, they're gonna go with
a lot of those would now say Bolden.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Does that mean that Gervin has any less talent than he did at the beginning of last year?
No.
That's my point. Right. So I think I should have explained it that way. So what I was looking at is who has that level of a grade where if he produces, he plays his way into first round, because you do have players in college football all over the place that it doesn't matter what they do.
But now you understand
your first rounder. Will not ever be a first rounder.
But now yeah, 100%. But now,
Corey Flagg's an example of that. Restrepo's an example of that.
Now you understand of why I was trying to make the comparison with somebody like Flo and Huff, because I'm understanding of who I think is going to be a first round draft pick.
Right.
Now who I think has the first round draft talent. But if you tell me who do I think is going to be a first,
but see, that's what's hard, man. Because
big dog, look, based on character, based on how our kid carries himself, based on whether he's a hard worker.
Perfect example. Okay, high character, first round talent. Don Chaney, Jalen Rivers, Jason Blissett, Jared Harrison Hunt, Greg Rousseau. Obviously, I should have said Rousseau first. Jalen Phillips, Bubba Bolden, possibly Gervin Hall. Okay, here's my point. Here's my point that I'm making. But I wouldn't bet the house on any of those guys necessarily being a first rounder, other than probably Rousseau, because we still have to see production. They still have to stay healthy. Okay, and they have to show that their production is commensurate with their level of talent. But the baseline talent is there.
And NMD is live, Brett.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll let everybody go. You all go to NMD. We went too long.
Yeah, we did go too long. Damn, our fault, man. Hey guys, it's been real, man. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hey Dante, I saw that comment. Yeah, I'm glad I misunderstood too, man, because that was fun. I like being argumentative sometimes.
Thank you, Dante.
Hey man, thank you guys. And I'm hungry. Oh, he's going live now. All right, we out of here, man. Go check out NMD, man.
If you haven't checked out NMD before, check him out. The dude is gold. The dude he knows his stuff about football, and he puts out great content on a daily basis. So check out NMD.
Hey, and as always, man,
it's all about this you. Thank you guys.
Have a good night,
everybody.